Sports Center.
Dak Prescott picked up exactly where he left off last season. First drive of training camp, an interception for Dak. Also a scary day in Oxnard as Donovan Wilson was carted off with what seems to be a calf injury, and Makaumu limped off as well with a hamstring injury. In Texans news, John Michie III was cleared to fully participate in training camp after missing all of last year after being diagnosed with leukemia.
It's 0600. What's the O stand for? Oh, my God, it's early.
Wake me up, wake me up, wake up, wake me up, wake me up, wake up.
Rob Thompson.
Ginobili the other way in transition to the left hand slam.
I want some nasty.
Rudy J.
Cowboys win. How else would you settle this game?
How about them Cowboys?
Begin each day as if it were on purpose.
I wake up in the morning, I kiss excellence.
R&R in the morning on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, good morning.
Got to get buttoned up here. We got company coming over. There we go.
At least one of y'all is. I'm in a t-shirt
You
today.
look good. You look
I'm
good.
going to the gym.
Yes. Oh, you are.
Yeah, I'm going to the gym today. I need a couple workouts before Oxnard. Just
Got to tighten up just a little bit because we filled out our RISVIP card to Jerry and Nobu. This is R&R in the morning. That's Rudy J. Good morning, Rebecca. I'm Rob Thompson. Easy E going cash yet again. That young generation don't know what the hell's going on around here.
What radio station's on that shirt? Was that 94.5 on that shirt, or is it 103.3?
I think that's a 94.5.
I think it's a 94.5. That was like.
Is it not a 94.1?
Yeah, I don't have an updated one.
That shirt is officially a nightgown on me.
I know.
I think it was like a triple X.
I have a triple X too. And the thing is, it was already long.
Yeah, it was. Thank you.
They were all. It's weirdly long. You know what I mean? It was a very hard shirt to wear anyway. And now that Rudy and I have lost a little bit more weight, that thing hangs to my knees, man. And I'm getting ready to go for training camp. We're glad you're with us this morning. And check us out live. Go to our YouTube channel. We're getting graded on this, and we want to welcome everybody aboard who's been joining over the last couple of weeks. We're glad you're here, Frank. Thanks.
Wow. Frank says he went to work after Joe and Jason, leaving work when we're coming on. Toyota.
Frank, man, drive
Get your money,
easy.
dog. Be careful.
Hey, man, it's a good union gig. Hold on to it.
Well, hey, actually, it's a shift change, Frank. Do 120 home.
Everybody else is. Especially those big old Toyota pickups. Boy, they'll ride right up on it. You hate those Toyota pickup drivers, right?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
My brother has things out for pickup drivers. He just thinks that they rule the road.
They do. Some of them. I'm not that type of pickup driver.
There's something about driving a truck, though, that makes you ride right up on somebody's bumper. I don't know what it is.
They do it to each other. Like, they really they're the tailgaters of the world. So I've been driving my wife's car for about 2 weeks, though.
Oh, you have
been?
Tired
of that gas. I'm just sick of it.
But that's a fun little. See, I'm a little car driver. I like to be able to.
I
zip
enjoy
in
it
and out.
too, and I get to park regular.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have to back in like with the damn truck. I have to back in.
Do you have to back in
if you want to park in one backup or one? Because like if you park regularly in between cars with the pickup,
Dude,
it's tough for me anyway. I've only had a truck for a year.
When I was at my lowest financially, when I was really in between gigs, I was my car broke down. And the current vehicle that my father uses as the ranch truck, one of those trucks that only leaves the property to go get some diesel, just to get some gas and then get it back on the property and hope the wheels don't fall off between. I had to drive that thing to work. And it was a 1989 F-250 pickup.
I love the F-250s.
About 40 feet long. I used to have to drive it downtown when I was driving boats.
Where'd you park the thing? Like
I would parallel park that SOB.
Parallel park.
I could drive that Titanic right into the curb. I was so proud of myself, man. That's an accomplishment.
No, I don't care what it is. I don't care how big or small the car is. Parallel parking makes you feel like a man.
Well, it does, but it was at that moment.
But with that long ass F-250, you're a man's man. Parallel parking.
Man,
I'd get out
of the truck with my hands up, like pointing at it. But it was at that moment I also realized I'll never drive a vehicle this big again. It's just
but you know what? You know where I'm at with the truck, Rob? I can never see myself without one.
Now you have one,
I just throwing stuff back there. Travel is so much easier. Going to the coast is easier. Now I don't have the 4x4. Like I'm not in 4x4 terrain enough to where it matters. 4x4, what I've realized in certain cities like San Antonio, 4x4 is mine's. It's a show off thing. Like we really don't need a 4x4 here in town.
Well, if you're a hunter, I mean, I covet a 4x4.
If you're a hunter, like there's certain places now. When I do go to Port A, there's certain sand that I won't go in because I don't want to be getting pulled out.
A little scary.
But 4x4 just shows like, hey, yeah, I got a 4x4. Mine's 20,000 more than yours, Rudy. All right,
it's comforting to have a truck. I will give you that.
I love having a truck.
Knowing that if I need to go haul something,
right,
and it's just something.
And like I said, traveling, just throw everything back there. It's perfect. Like versus trying to play Jenga or Tetris in a regular trunk when you're traveling with a family of 4. Because like we just took my wife's car to Dallas, and I was like,
I hadn't considered that. That's right. Did you see out the rearview mirror?
No.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to use the luggage rack.
Oh, dude, I'm afraid of that.
Me too. I don't like. Props to people that use it.
Don't get along.
Props to people that have the stones to use the luggage rack. Yeah.
If I'm behind somebody with a bunch of crap strapped onto their roof, I'm gonna do 90 around it.
Props to you people.
And if I get a ticket, I'll get out of it in court.
Yeah.
Like no, I'm not riding behind some fool who decided to use some twine and a couple of pieces of Scotch tape to hold their 80-pound luggage.
It does help, but I don't have the stones to do it.
No, I'll never do that. How's the packing going? Have you planned the
Oxnard?
Yeah.
No.
My wife asked me yesterday when I showed her I printed out version of the invitation.
You know what? I try not to bring it up.
Oh.
I try not to bring it up because I don't want to. Yeah, because I don't want. I hate getting those two dreaded words. Have fun.
Yeah. Oh,
I hate when my wife tells me have fun because I know the undertones. Speaking of undertones, there's a lot of undertones in the whole Aldine conversation, but undertones of have fun, I hate it. So I don't even bring it up. But my wife brought it up yesterday. She was like, "So what day's Nobu this year?" I'm like, Jesus.
My wife's now a willing participant. I've been to so many things that I'm like, honey, I wish you were here. But so now she's kind of like, well, you know what? I'm going to the Turks next month and you ain't going.
Oh, she's going to Turks with the ladies,
not
right?
this year. She's not going to go. Well, well, I say that. There was a gathering and I noticed at the funeral last week, her and her friends, the Fab Five, as they're known.
Oh, there was some plotting.
I noticed a huddle up and I noticed my wife accessed our Bonvoy miles account. She doesn't realize when I get the email when she opens that up because
so she'd been looking.
She was doing some point scouting, I think. So there might be an imminent question, and it'll probably be given to me. I can say all this because it's 6:08. She's asleep.
She's asleep. Yeah.
As she drops me off at the airport on Sunday. Oh, by the way, now that Clay's home and this and that and all that, I'm going to the Turks for a week.
Yeah. Now, of course, you got to use the points because after your son being in Spain for 2 months, dude, I didn't think y'all could go to Walmart.
For those who have followed over the summer, my son Clay has been studying abroad and living the life that I always dreamed I would live.
And asking for Zelle payments
for it, though.
Asking for Zelle payments once every 2 weeks.
Now I know what it's like to live that life because it costs a lot of money. No, I actually haven't lived it myself,
right?
But I've paid for it. But he's coming home tomorrow. No, he lands tomorrow. So he's going to be getting on the plane.
To see him before you leave Oxnard.
I need it because he's taken. Let's see what he's got. Everything that I have that's worthy of travel. He's got my travel batteries. He's got my suitcase. He's got my other rolling bag. He's got all of my dot kit.
At one point in time, he had your damn golf clubs.
You know what? The golf clubs are now back in College Station.
So they never made it to San Antonio?
They made it home, but then they're back up.
So when we go out to Golf Club of Texas again, you're going to have to rent clubs again?
No, but I think my birthday's around the corner. So if I play my cards right.
Okay.
Now, see, my birthday's in September. If I play my cards right. Oh, yeah, baby. Virgo and firstborn and all that implies. The birthday could turn itself into a pretty good set of clubs if I play my cards right. But this is going to have to be played just right.
Yeah.
Because in things like this, when you have to
Well, let me
buy
see.
it
You
yourself.
got about a month and a half, so you need to drop some. You need to drop some hints over the next month.
I already have.
Okay, cool.
So I've been looking on like Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah,
and
there's some good deals on.
Oh yeah, and I've been actually considering buying some new clubs anyway. And there was a set of somebody, and I'm left-handed, so it's kind of like needle in a haystack kind of stuff. And I'm left-handed and tall too, but people always just go play one club up. No, I don't like that.
Yeah,
I like tall. I like longer shafts. Save that.
Save that. Save that.
Wow.
You and Joe got problems.
Wow, man, that's phrasing. And I pointed it out to my wife, and it was like a set of Cleveland wedges, and they were kind of dirty, but I cleaned those up, and I showed it to her, and she goes, "Well, they have steel shafts," and I was like, "Yeah, they do."
Yeah.
But see, I'm getting older and about my back, and she knows about
a
little bit more flex to
a little bit flex.
And she's like, but they have that. You probably can't get those.
I forget.
And when she said that, I knew I had her. I was like, oh yeah.
Well, see, I forgot your wife grew up on a golf course.
Yeah.
So she gets it.
Yeah. So she was kind of like,
you good.
So you're
good.
When she said, but those have steel shafts. I was like, I got you.
Yeah, you good.
Yeah. Now we're
Come
talking.
September, you're gonna have some clubs.
So maybe I can finagle this into some new clubs.
You know, Rob, I got to thinking. We've known Mike McCarthy now, what, 2 years?
Oh,
well, 3 for you. You 2020, I wasn't here, but
yeah, the 2020 doesn't really count. I got to know the man through Zooms. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I really count. We got to know each other on a as personal as we could be when you and I were together.
Right. So last year, when we got to training camp, Mike McCarthy walks up, and you and I immediately notice, man, Mike probably dropped 20, 30 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we're really friends,
do we tell the man he didn't have a good offseason?
No, I'm saying, is he gonna notice that you and I have been working since last year? If we're really friends,
he will.
He should notice that you and I have been working as well. So I want to see if he doesn't bring it up, we're not friends.
Well, if he doesn't bring it up, yeah, we're not friends.
We're not friends. Because we told him as soon as he said that, I'm like, damn, coach, you look good, man.
Well, the thing about coaches,
he noticed us. Well, this has been a year.
My wife and I have had this conversation because she gets embarrassed or upset with me sometimes. When I walk up to people, I go, man, you look fantastic.
Why does that upset
Well, when
her?
I'm talking to like a lady, somebody like, you look gorgeous. And I'm being honest. But I think that goes back to,
I ain't doing that.
If you're I'm not saying you're beautiful, but if somebody looks good, they've lost weight or they've toned up, you look great. I think I love it when people say that to me.
I do too.
So, but she gets upset sometimes when it's at the wrong person, the wrong time.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like, did you really go on about how? But I think that goes back to coaches who are very aware of the bodies of their athletes. Like, dude, you put on some weight. You pay attention to those
like
things.
Spoelstra and Pat Riley probably know every time their guys gain 1 pound.
Like Dr. Torres with the IFF.
He sees you within 5 seconds.
He's one of the. If he worked at the tilt-a-whirl, if he worked at the fair where you guess weight, that dude, you couldn't beat him. You'd never get the prize.
True.
So I don't think it would be that strange if he did comment on the fact like, you men look good. Now he would say something like that.
Well, we're gonna see. We're gonna find out if we're friends. Now he might not tell you because you and him, y'all were beefing all last year.
I wasn't. Yeah, we were.
Y'all had beef all last year.
Sometimes you just want to pick a fight to see if the guys will come with a right hook or a left jab. Just see.
It made Friday so fun though. Because again, I stand with you. There was nothing that you asked that was. It was never Skip Baylessy.
No,
it was always
hijack the dude.
It was always fair.
But the thing is, I always endeavored to ask the question of the thing that he was dancing around.
Yes, it's like it was offense, slow starts.
Prove it to me.
Like, I like to see the data.
All right.
And Rob couldn't find it until after he
hung
up.
But I knew I was close.
Yeah.
I knew I was close. And speaking of McCarthy, man, oh man, he was busy yesterday.
My guy answers every question. He answers every question. Props to McCarthy.
So he spoke on a wide range of things. And of course, you're going to hear it right here on San Antonio Sports Star, more than you're going to hear anywhere else, Dallas Cowboy fan. You better lock it in and rip the knob off for the next 8 days, because we are in Oxnard starting on Monday morning live. Of course, we want to thank AA Best Bail Bonds for helping us get there, along with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. And let's make sure everybody's getting the credit they deserve. And Texas Cheer Liquor, of course, we'd like to welcome them aboard our Dallas Cowboy camp coverage. Are they sending in over like supplies?
If I know AD, he just had another baby. He's like, Rudy, I'm already spending the money with your advertising. Buy the bottle. He ain't sending us nothing.
See, the thing
I
is,
know AD.
But here's what he doesn't know is we do this thing, and this is not really a highly publicized thing, but our early morning crew.
We need, you know what? I need to talk to him about
because we do this thing a late night deal.
We need, you know what? I got to talk to him.
And you know what? If he could probably get a little bit of money from his sponsors, because we're going to put the bottle right there on the screen. But this is for everybody that really wants to get some behind the scenes stuff. It's kind of like an after dark thing, an NSFW kind of broadcast that we do late nights when we're at camp from our beautiful beach house in downtown Oxnard, California. And we are one street off the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the pictures?
I've seen the pictures. So the first one that was sent wasn't.
Yeah, it was like the Airbnb version of what we were ended up. But it ended up, we got a good one. I mean, it's, although we have been hijacked before, but this one is a true beach house.
Got you.
So we'll have some sort of patio set up. Now, I don't think we have a pool.
No, we don't.
Thanks, Nick.
Nick says lots of shaft and knob talk this morning. That's Joe and Rob.
Yeah, the fact that you picked that up this morning, the fact that that's what you grabbed hold of this morning tells me where your mind's at.
You know how to work the little knob.
What the hell is going on? The blitz is out of control, dude.
Do you think that's out of control? Make sure you're on our YouTube channel. Make sure you're with us and following all the updates and know when we're going to go live. So you get that little email like, bing, they're on. Make sure you're clipping in. So with that in mind, this is what our day will entail. We'll look around the first day of Dallas Cowboy training camp. Of course, you said it in your sports center. A couple of injuries. Donovan Wilson just about scared the fool out of me. That fighting Texas Aggies limping off due to not limping, riding off. Yikes! And with a calf.
Carded. He just got paid.
Yeah, he did get paid. We will see you in September, young man. Get well. But that's other than that, it was the first of the installation of this new offense. And we're going to hear McCarthy talk about his offense. We're going to hear him talk about his young, highly paid cornerback, his running back in Pollard. We're actually going to hear from Pollard today.
Tony, I got some thoughts on Tony. Like sometimes, you try to throw your misery upon someone and they just keep deflecting it. I'm done throwing misery on Tony Pollard, and that's where I'm gonna leave it, Rob.
Are you a believer in omens? Are you a believer in things that it'll show you what it's going to be immediately, and what it will manifest over time, but initially it already told you what it was going to be?
Yes.
The very first offensive play from scrimmage for the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott ended in a very unique way. We'll tell you what happened, and it ain't good. Next, you're on R&R. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's $1,400 to training camp. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Beginning Monday, the guys are on the road again. This time, San Antonio Sports Star travels to Cowboys training camp in Oxnard, California.
Deep down the right side. Oh, it's caught.
With the full support of AA Best Bail Bonds, providing complete backup for any of those things that happen while on the road. Nobody provides better coverage of training camp than 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Left side of the end zone. Touchdown.
We'll hear from the players, coaches, be right in the middle of the media frenzy, and of course, hear from owner Jerry Jones.
We get to suck on that all week.
It's Cowboys training camp, live from Oxnard, California. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, Texas Cheer Liquor, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, and SASportsStar.com.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
If you can't sleep because of annoying knee pain, that's a problem. If you stop running because your feet always hurt, that's a problem. If your elbow, shoulder, and neck pain make it impossible for you to do your job, that is a problem. And it's time to finally do something about it. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. No medications, no injections. Arasti treatment is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, we accept most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
It can happen in an instant. A car accident can change your life forever. From serious injuries to mounting medical bills to battling insurance companies, accidents make life harder than it should be. If you've been in an accident, George Salinas Injury Lawyers are here for you. They're local, experienced, and ready to fight for results that make a difference. If you've been injured, don't call just any lawyer. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers at 210-225-0909 or visit georgesalinas.com.
George gets justice.
Attention heavy equipment mechanics, San Antonio is hiring. The starting pay $22.67 an hour, plus incentives, benefits, and advancement opportunities. There's a job fair Saturday, July 29th at 6927 West Commerce, and you can apply on the spot. Stop by Saturday, July 29th, 9 a.m. till noon, 6927 West Commerce. Complete information is at sarecycles.org. Mechanics needed, so visit sarecycles.org.
Smoker's Paradise, your premium smoke shop. Vaporizers, disposable e-cigarettes, hookah accessories, water pipes, cigars, and more. Now with 15 area locations, including the newest location at South Cross and Highway 37. Visit smokersparadise.com. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
It's Hot Ticket Thursday. Be the ninth caller at 210-656-ESPN. And you could be on your way. The hottest tickets to the hottest events. Ninth caller wins.
What?
Hey, this is
no clue.
Pierce the Veil.
No. Who?
Yeah, Pierce the Veil.
That's who we're giving away today. Ninth caller.
Yeah, the Jaws of Life tour. They're coming to the ESPY.
We have a place called the ESPY.
ESPEE. I just read the copy. Yeah, they're coming. I assume they're a big band. We don't go low.
No,
we don't go low because this hour we're doing the Jaws of Life tour, and if you haven't gone through the Jaws of Life tour, really, quite frankly, can you really say that you're a Pierce the Veil fan? In the next hour, Thomas Rhett, that's the name you might more recognize, of the home team tour, will be at the Moody Center in August, and we'll have tickets for that because you know what it is, Rudy? It is Hot Ticket Thursday. Got some smoking hot tickets for you every Thursday. And today we got Pierce the Veil and Thomas Rhett. Hang with us, wait for the sounder, dial appropriately, but stay here all day long. And yet again, I plead, join us on YouTube. We shower, we buff up. The least you can do is watch.
Have you gone to get barbershop yet? I'm even look.
I
no,
went,
because you would have had on a hat if you did.
Dude, I went last week prior to the funeral.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
And, you know, I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
You're right. But see.
You hated it? It looks good.
It's worked out. It's worked out. But, you know, for camp, you kind of want to be able to put on a cap at 2 a.m. in the morning. And that's yet another reason you want to dial in because we're going to have cameras everywhere. It's going to be like a reality show, like the Big Brother at training camp.
No, we're not going to have cameras in our room.
No, not there. I was talking about at the
say.
training camp. How many cameras we got going on? We had a meeting yesterday about how we're going to bring it to you.
And we're going
to be prepared for an ocean of content.
Ocean of content for sure.
So it appeared, you know, we got some new camera stuff. We got a little gimbal thing that we can hold on to. And what I want to know is, you know, that while the Blitz is on air, Rudy, that's when practice is going to be going on. We need to engineer a a way to discuss, talk back and forth. And I think we have the wireless mic thing, right? In the headphones.
So I could be like Dak just threw an interception.
Yeah, somebody standing out on the field. And one of the things that I do want to do this year is I think we should come up with a list of, say, like 4 questions that we ask every interview.
Let's say 3.
3 questions. Yeah, 4's a little much.
4's a much. Maybe 2 or 3.
Non-football questions. The 3 questions that you would ask someone to really get to know them. Can we? I think we need to come up with a couple of them and round our way into 3. Like, what would be the kind of questions that would really help you get to know someone?
Last show they binge watched.
There you go. Last show that they binge watched on TV. First on their playlist. Newest song in their playlist. Favorite song in their playlist. Last live show they went to.
That's a good one. That's a good one. We just, you know what? This is what you brainstorm. We'll just put a list of about 20 of them, and then we'll pick 3.
And all day long, if you come up with something that you use to kind of get at the measure of a person, like in San Antonio, my measure of a person, the very first question I ask someone as I meet them and I find out a little bit about them is, where'd you go to high school?
But they got to be from here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When I find out they're from, but even if you're from Texas, I know this state.
Now, yeah. That's a good one, but
someplace else that doesn't matter. But I'm just saying, I want that kind of question. I want someone to
last
give me
concert. The Minix is gonna love that.
Yeah, because what's the last live show you went? That'll give you an idea, and it might not be a full representation of your musical taste, but it'll give you an idea.
What song gets you going?
Yeah, what do you lift to?
Well, it depends. If you're in there retiring, it's R&B.
Well, that's fine.
Marco Mendez says favorite hobby outside of football. I like that because I mean. If you're with Dak, you're in Georgia going fishing.
Well, no, I will tell you from experience, Marcus. We've asked that before, and the problem with this generation, 9 times out of 10, it's video games. So the answer is always, most of the time.
You know what? With a bunch of 20 to 29-year-olds, it's going to be video games.
Yeah. So I learned not to ask that question, but that's just kind of a vet move. I did ask it, and it was always the same answer. Then you started getting into which video game, and it just depends on the game of the time.
Now, best pickup line, if you're Travis Kelce, it's trying to give a friendship bracelet to Taylor Swift. Now, what's the best pickup line?
Because I don't do pickup line. That gives me an idea how quick.
But if you use a pickup line, you're normally striking out. Like favorite book.
Wow,
what are you trying to say? The Cowboys don't read?
No, I'm saying their favorite book better be the playbook.
Oh God, if somebody said that, I'm throwing the microphone and walking away. It's you know who would say that? Dak.
Exactly.
Dak would definitely say that. Favorite Jerry Jones story?
Ooh. Both for public knowledge and not.
Favorite Jerry Jones story? Or for those in San Antonio, who's your favorite place for tacos?
That always helps.
See, but the thing about that is, if it's a random spot,
like I'm not gonna go.
You're not gonna know because they all have the same name,
right? Like I got a Jalisco number 5 by me too. I know you got a Jalisco 4. I got the 5 up by me. I figure.
You know what? Let's put this out to keep the phone lines, text, and YouTube. What are some questions we could ask everybody that we talk to? A couple of questions,
so we can get a uniform idea. Yeah. Like maybe what was your favorite team growing up?
Ooh, favorite team growing up.
Because you can get an idea of like a bandwagon type, especially if they're from one state and their favorite team was from another.
Jordan or LeBron?
Ooh, now we're talking. Now we're getting into this or that kind of stuff.
Because I mean, because you might not get those answers because you ask Brandon Miller, it's Paul George.
Right. Well, there we go. That's a separator kind of a question. That's
NBA GOAT. Let's just go NBA GOAT because we can't just limit it to Jordan and LeBron because these guys grew up in a different era. I mean, Brandon Miller said Paul George.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have favorite comedians anymore, Marco. Like, I don't see a 25-year-old sitting down watching stand-ups.
I think they get clips. I mean, my kid, like Kevin Hart.
Who would be your number 1 draft pick in fantasy?
Oh.
That's a good one, Jay Glenn.
Because.
But then you're going to get a whole bunch of Dak. CD. And I'm going to throw the microphone.
I would hope I'd get at least one that gets mad at fantasy football.
Oh, yeah. But you get that too. Like, I hate.
Maybe a better question is, are you really paying attention to your Madden numbers?
Ooh.
Do you know
your Madden
number?
Rating matter?
And is it accurate? That's the question. And
Is your Madden rating accurate?
Because my experience is they're all mad. Every one of them. I didn't what 82 on speed. Come over to clock me.
Huh.
In my experience, see, for those that have unaware of my past, I worked at EA Sports for a bit, and I worked in the same room, not with as much, but in the same room with the dude that was responsible for the ratings. At the end of the day, his name was Donnie. I'll leave the last name off.
Okay.
And he was the most wanted man in football.
Of course. Best dressed player on the team?
Ooh, that's a good one. That is
because you and I love the fashion stuff. We like. Well, I mean, we're not. But we like fashion stuff.
I think that's a great question. We always like, what are you doing in your downtime? And but I would like to have one question. We're going to go to Toppers, brother. Who put that up there? Bring this up.
That was Israel.
So Israel, for those, obviously Israel spent some time there in the greater Ventura County area. There's a debate amongst us inside the Star over Dan the Man's Pizza or Toppers.
So that's been a thing. So I know RJ already vying for Toppers.
He's vying for Toppers, and Toppers is a fine pizza, but Dan the Man's Pizza is probably better. But the atmosphere at Dan the Man's, there ain't no atmosphere.
Right.
But I appreciate someone that kicks in some locale knowledge. Yes, we will report back to you on that. And Spud Nuts, Eric Erickson's. I assume we'll make it all the way up to Malibu to go to the Dukes. You haven't been to Dukes. You've been to Dukes.
I've been to Dukes. And then we found out that one place y'all took me off the PCH. I was watching it the other day. For some reason, I was sitting there watching Fast and the Furious. For whatever reason, the first one, the classic, the OG. And it's when Paul Walker got busted dead, Vin Diesel, they pull up to this restaurant. They're having shrimp. And Paul's trying to get it out of him what Vin is doing. Like, what is this illegal activity you're doing? And I look and I'm like, damn, that place looks familiar. And I was like, oh, Jason and Rob took me there in 2021. I was freezing because it was it's literally right off the ocean. But I was like, hey, I've eaten there. I had the shrimp basket just like Paul did.
And it was more about the scenery than it was about the food.
Yeah.
It was all right.
Yeah, it was all right. The
food
wasn't that good.
Little fishy.
Camping, beach, or city for vacation. It's gonna always be a beach with these new guys.
Yeah. I don't know how much
Neptune's Net. That's exactly what it is.
Thank you, Neptune's Net. Man, I'm feeling it already. Hey, we promised you. We teased this, and if you weren't aware, on the first play from scrimmage in yesterday's practice, Dak threw a turnover, a misplaced ball. I was going to say that I word, but I'm going to try to avoid it. He started up not the way that would have been dreamed up.
Right. But it happens.
It's just kind of funny.
Does Dak have the yips?
Next.
All right, let's do it.
Hey, coming back, we will hear from Mike McCarthy and him talking about his brand new quarterback and the interception issues, which evidently have not changed.
All right, let's do it.
We'll talk about it next. Lots of Mike McCarthy. We're glad you're with us today. This is R&R, and you're on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, we're going to talk a little Texans football. The General, John McClain, will join us at 5:15. C.J. Stroud, the starter.
Well, so you said a little Texans football, plus a lot of Cowboys football as they continue training camp out in Oxnard. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
For adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy, now there's Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months, and Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Nothing in me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin, that's my new place. Nothing is every day.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, you could achieve 90% clearer skin. Ask your doctor about the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagle here. I want to take a moment to talk to you about advertising on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Yeah, we get this question quite a bit. Here's what you have to do. Contact Morgan Harrison via email. It's morgan.harrison@alphamediausa.com. From there, she's going to have one of our folks connect with you on how you can advertise right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Or since Alpha Media is a full-service advertising company, online, other radio stations, and even television, since that's just about all through the internet. Happy connecting.
Missing your NFL team's out-of-market games? Not a great plan. A much better plan? Switch to My Plan from Verizon and get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV on us with eligible phone purchase and unlimited plus. That's a value of up to $449. Get every out-of-market game every Sunday afternoon. Switch to My Plan at your Verizon store today. And for a limited time, get NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV on us with eligible phone purchase and unlimited plus. It's your Verizon. $449 value applies to NFL Sunday Ticket season 23-24 only. Additional terms and embargoes apply to NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube. No refunds.
Wendy's is open till midnight or later, so you can give in to the craving and go night mode. Now all of your favorite menu items just got their bedtime extended. You can get what you want even later, like the Baconator with 6 strips of bacon, or the perfect fries and frosty duo. If you're up later, then so are we. So go ahead and pull through the drive-thru. When the craving hits, go night mode at Wendy's. Open till midnight or later. All right, see ya later.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary.
Do you have heart failure and often hear,
"Those stomach issues ruined your birthday"?
"You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa."
Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis.
If these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist. Ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATTR-CM, a rare and underdiagnosed disease that gets worse over time. Learn more at connecttoyourheart.com. That's connecttoyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
If this were a Reese's TV ad, you'd be staring at a Reese's peanut butter cup. And sure, my voice is peanut buttery smooth, but still, you need to see the peanut butter cups, right? No? I can really just say Reese's and you'll go get some? Okay, Reese's. 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 Really working, actually. Reese's. Reese's. I'm on to something. Reese's. Reese's. Reese's.
Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort, designed for curious travelers. Viking offers all-inclusive voyages on all 7 continents, with no children and no casinos on board. Learn more at Viking.com.
When you're trying to hire, all that searching, screening, and interviewing can become its own job. You need Indeed, the end-to-end hiring solution that makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credits.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
For adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy, now there's Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clearer skin at 4 months, and Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Nothing and me go hand in hand. Nothing on my skin, that's my new plan. Nothing is everything.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
With Skyrizi, you could achieve 90% clearer skin. Ask your doctor about the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
R&R in the morning on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, good morning to you.
That's Rudy. I'm Rob. Welcome to R&R here on San Antonio Sports Star. If you're not watching, you're not doing it right. Use your device. Go to YouTube channel SA Sports Star.
Subscribe, damn it.
Subscribe so you get all the perks
and alerts, and you can see us.
And
we did our hair and we iron
with that.
Now that's what I told. Now in our little new WhatsApp chat, I let RJ know while I'm an ironer, I will not be ironing his clothes. And you know what his response was? Rob irons all my clothes. Speaking of RJ, that was
I probably do.
He's like your third son.
He really is. I love that kid like a son. I say kid, my God. But RJ is a tremendous addition to our traveling squad as we head out to Oxnard, California. And as we're out there, he's going to have his own little his own real big time Cowboy Corner show that's going to run noon to 1.
Well, noon to 2.
I'm sorry,
here.
Noon to 2 here with us live. And on that vein, on Friday, you're going to make sure you want to listen to the Blitz.
This Friday?
On this Friday.
Tomorrow.
When
they're out at Texas Cheerleader,
they're going to be, better yet, go out to Bernie. Hang out with those two brave men and their bourbon of the 12 Strong crew. And we have huge news.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, the radio landscape continues to shift in San Antonio.
Okay.
Just
you leave it at that?
We're going back to our roots, baby. Going back to my roots. I'll leave it at that.
For sure. Mine for sure.
So this is huge news.
Can't wait.
That's tomorrow, programming news as we prepare for what's going to be an extraordinary fall that will be led with many stories of Dak Prescott. Let's hope they're good news. I kind of giggled to Rudy in the break. I hope there's for content purposes, Dak having a few foibles in the preseason would be a lot of fun. Because it should almost be expected.
Because it's content.
Well, it's content, but I mean, this is a new offensive coordinator. This is a new play calling system. And if we were giving that standard to anybody else, we would expect
a new receiver, new tight ends.
We would expect some missteps, right? I mean, we should. It would be the part of growth. Well, McCarthy yesterday spoke to Dak Prescott's interceptions and the like in this preseason.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I could go back and show you Alex Van Pelt's interception report from 1989. It's always been done the same way. I mean, you get the season, your season's over, you evaluate you really get the negative stuff out of the way. So when you are able to get together, you address them, and to me, that's always been the basics of coaching a quarterback. I mean, that's just the way I learned it. That's the way I've always done it. So understand that the mono conversation around it, but I really don't look at his particular performance any different than any other year. I'm well aware of the numbers, but we're going to evaluate every throw in season, when it happens, in practice when it happens, and so it's a daily evaluation process, and and I think we all understand that we may look at it a little differently than others look at it, and that's part of it. It's part of our business and playing under a microscope. But I'm very comfortable with that. I mean, he didn't like it. Not necessarily he didn't like it, but we talked about it the other day, and it just said, hey, there's going to be a time where he's going to maybe throw 2 interceptions during the game, and that's going to be a great moment for us to learn from, because that adversity is coming. You don't compete in this league and not have adversity on and off the field. It's not realistic. And so that's part of the everyday grind as a quarterback. You have to have moments that you just continue to play and don't let it affect you. And then as a play caller, I have to stay aggressive and things like that. So interceptions postseason, they're really a great opportunity to learn from. So, and that's just the way I've always done it. That's the way it's always been broken down. So, and it was no different this year.
I think this is a great first step. I think, him calling Dak in this offseason and showing them the interceptions, what McCarthy's speaking to is clearly someone had asked him, like, hey, what went on when, you brought Dak in and you showed him all 15 interceptions, and he kind of was like, he kind of alluded to the fact that Dak didn't like it, which is a good thing, because this is going to be the first time I feel like in Dak's career where he's going to be accountable for his mistakes. Now, I'm not saying you got to go Jimbo or Nick Saban or Bill Belichick and you got to scream and cuss on the guy, but you got to let him know that it's not okay and we have to fix that. And Dak promptly starts off training camp with an interception.
Yeah, it was tipped. It was off his. It was
Whose
off his
hands
guy's
did it go
hands.
off of, Edwin? Whose hands was that?
Semi Fehoko.
Yeah, it was
Semi. Come on, look, here it is right here. ESPN and Eagle fans, Dak Prescott. Semi. Oh, so that's on Semi. That's not Dak's fault.
81.
So you know what? This is exactly where we left off last year. An interception where we say it's not Dak's fault.
See, here was it.
So
here was it. I want to go take it one step further.
Okay, let's go.
About quarterbacks in general. And I'm probably, my point of view might be wrong on this because I know what I'm going to say is everybody going to go, what? But I don't think interceptions are always a bad thing.
Oh, hell. Here, Cowboys showing it.
No, on any quarterback.
You starting, any quarterback.
Any
okay.
quarterback.
I'll hear you out. Go ahead.
Because you have to have, first I want to, it will show the effort to take something that isn't being given to you.
So is this you going the Michael Jordan route? Like, I ain't scared to take a shot. And I'm not scared to miss.
It proves.
But Rob,
I remember one time, and I couldn't believe it because I was so proud of myself. That I went into halftime, and what was typical for this particular coach was you'd go down, and there'd be some film already broken down.
Right.
And you'd go down, and every player, there'd be the stats. And I came in, and I never played anyway. So the few minutes I got in, I didn't foul, and I hit a shot. It's one of those things.
Tech?
This is someplace I don't want to
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead. And so I'm sitting there proud of myself, showing all the stats. And the coach is like, and Thompson, not one ever loving mother flopping foul, not one foul, not one. Not you were just participating. You weren't playing. You weren't defending. No foul.
I don't think that's good coaching because
No.
Pop would have been proud of you.
No,
Pop
there is the
Pop hates
masterful
people that foul.
part of defending without fouling, but I was not playing pro basketball at the time.
Right.
What it was a signal to me that, hey, man, yeah, you think you're playing, but you're not. You're
Gotcha.
participating. You're not playing. You step into it. Be afraid. Don't be afraid to step into the fray and take one in the chin. Sometimes there's something about pushing that envelope. And I like a quarterback that every now and then, damn it, I'm going to send it down the field. I want to see what you're made of, what I'm made of. And, maybe we pay the price with that one. But at this time, if you're not on your game, I'm going to take it from you. And I like that about quarterbacks sometimes.
I'll say this, Rob. You articulated that really, really well. But if you lose the turnover battle, you lose football games. I hear you, but no, I don't. No,
and that's in a vacuum. And that is the biggest sin a quarterback can commit. There is no greater sin than throwing an interception. There isn't. But I do like the fact that this dude might throw it over the top right now. I want that threat of, I got to be on my game. And when that wide receiver gives me that downfield cut, I kind of got to respect the fact that this cat will go.
At this level, do you have to have the stones to let it go?
See, that's the thing I don't understand about being a pro because I've never been there. You know what I mean?
You have to be able to be like, you know what, I'm gonna let one rip. You got to have that. If not, you can't play at this level if you're scared to pull the trigger. But it's got to be controlled chaos when you're talking about interceptions. I mean, last season, Dak Prescott, when you shouldn't have more interceptions than Davis Mills, Kirk Cousins, and Derek Carr, and Matt Ryan. Like, you just shouldn't.
No.
Just and you list those three guys right there are a microcosm of each other. Dak, Kirk, Derek Carr. All three guys are the same, and all three had 14 or more picks, and all three of their teams weren't very successful.
We're going to talk a lot about the signing of Diggs and the pairing with Gilmore and the defense that's coming because it's going to play a huge role in this season. But coming back, I'm curious, Rudy. You're a good-looking man. I'm not afraid to say it.
I agree.
What's your biggest flex in trying to pick up at someone that might have been above your pay grade?
I'm gonna help you single guys out. Edwin, I'm gonna help y'all out next segment. I'm gonna help y'all out. I'm gonna rewind the clock to 27 years and just help you guys out.
No matter who you are, there's always somebody above your pay grade that you're chasing. Travis Kelce.
We both outkicked our coverage.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I got it. We should
respect to the man. If you didn't outkick your coverage, what are you doing? And that's what our endeavor is to all you young brothers that are out there not quite getting it. Even Travis Kelce has to drop some flex, and even that flex don't always work. Hold on, Travis Kelce in a swing for the fences kind of move coming up next. is our star.
Speaking of, sometimes you just got to go all in, and I can't think of a better place to go all in than SA Card House, San Antonio's premier card house. That's right. All of my poker playing listeners, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or you're a pro, SA Card House is a must-visit. Beautiful atmosphere, clean, inviting, top-notch customer service for all you guys and gals poker playing pleasure. It brings San Antonio a completely new vibe to poker houses, offering games of all skill levels. SA Card House welcomes you all, including myself, who am not very good. I'm free money, but I'm getting better. It is located just off of 281 North and Bitters. They have an attached full bar and grill with made-to-order daily specials. This isn't your typical card house. SA Card House is a private social club, but they're always accepting new memberships. Visit sacardhouse.com for more info and stop in for a quick drink and check that space out. SA Card House at Bitters and 281.
It's $1,400 to trading camp. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Beginning Monday, the guys are on the road again. This time, San Antonio sports star travels to Cowboys training camp in Oxnard, California.
Deep down the right side. Oh, it's caught.
With the full support of AA Best Bail Bonds, providing complete backup for any of those things that happen while on the road. Nobody provides better coverage of training camp than 94.1 San Antonio sports star.
Left side of the end zone. Touchdown.
We'll hear from the players, coaches, be right in the middle of the media frenzy, and of course, hear from owner Jerry Jones.
We get to suck on that all week.
It's Cowboys training camp, live from Oxnard, California. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, Texas Cheer Liquor, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, and sasportstar.com.
Nigel, I'm going on vacation. Don't touch anything.
I won't let you down. Enjoy your time off, J-Dog.
Folks, it's good to take time off, but your home's plumbing and air conditioning, well, when they decide to take a surprise vacation or start working overtime, that's a problem. Call Quarter Moon and we'll get things back on track, working right and at a fair price. Call Quarter Moon 651-5899.
Okay, team, I've supercharged the coffee machine. It's extra hot and dispenses 10 times faster. Allow me to push the button. Quick! Call the plumber!
6004 DACLA 000743458.
Real people are getting real and lasting pain relief at QC Kinetics.
Who would have thought that I would be in better shape now than after I got out of the Marines at 22? It's great to be active again.
I've played 36 holes multiple days in a row without pain. Everything's great.
Are you tired of living with chronic joint pain? QC Kinetics uses cutting-edge regenerative medicine to restore and repair damaged tissue, natural healing agents from your own body, so your body can heal itself the way it was designed, with no pain pills, no steroids, no drugs, and no downtime.
It was super successful, and I recommend everyone seek out QC Kinetics as an alternative to surgery.
Thanks to QC Kinetics, quality of life is just a lot better.
Definitely changed my life.
Call now to see if regenerative medicine could be the answer you've been looking for. The local medical professionals at QC Kinetics have proven protocols that can give you lasting relief now, and the consultation is free.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318.
Life moves fast. No one has time for a car, truck wreck, or commercial vehicle accident. At Davis Law Firm, we get it. When you call the force, you don't have to worry about insulting offers from insurance adjusters, property damage, or car rental. We recently settled a wrongful death case in a commercial vehicle accident for $5 million. Net to clients was $2.8 million. I'm Jeff Davis. If you were in a car, truck wreck, or hit by a commercial vehicle, call me at 444-4444. You got it. There's only one number to remember. 4. Attorney consultation by appointment only. Davis Law Firm, San Antonio. Davis Law Firm is a proud official partner, personal injury attorney of the San Antonio Spurs.
Car wrecks can wreck your life. They can leave you with medical bills, lost wages. Most importantly, they can leave you with lasting pain. That's why you should call Hilly & Solis. Hey, guys, it's Rudy J, and I'm here to tell you about Hilly & Solis. They're former prosecutors that know how to fight and know how to win. They're going to listen to your story and guide you through the legal process. They want to get you all the compensation you deserve. Insurance companies have their own interests in mind, so you have to keep that in mind. And their goal is to settle that claim as fast as possible for as little money as possible, but you deserve more, and Hilly & Solis understands that. Compensation for your injuries, your medical bills, lost wages, and pain and suffering. It's so important, though, that you act quickly after the car wreck. Evidence disappears, memories fade, and statutes of limitations may apply. So call them right now for your free, no obligation consultation right now. 210-762-6261. That's 210-762-6161. 210-762-6261.
Principal office in San Antonio, Texas. Message brought to you by an attorney spokesperson.
Your home. San Antonio sports star.
Is this Taylor?
If you're a Swiftie, you know. This is R&R. I don't know if we're Swifties or not. You a Swiftie household?
I don't know. I have to ask my 15-year-old. I don't know if she's a Swiftie. I don't think she is.
Known. I think you would have known.
No, she's not a Swiftie.
Right.
My daughter's more of a SZA person. Yeah, you're like, whatever.
Right.
Cool.
Who?
SZA.
Should I say what?
SZA. Female R&B artist.
So, if you are a Swiftie fan, you're very aware of the protocols.
Yeah,
they're big into friendship bracelets.
I guess.
I
have no idea. I know now. Pledger's a Swiftie.
It appears they're big into friendship bracelets, ridiculously expensive concert tickets.
Yes,
extraordinarily strong lines or long lines, and remarkably overpriced. And those combined to make you a Swiftie.
Okay, cool.
Travis Kelce's a Swiftie. Yeah, but
speaking of Taylor Swift, I know you went to the Taylor Swift concert. How was it?
Yeah, well, I was disappointed that she doesn't talk before or after her shows because she has to save her voice for the 44 songs that she sings. So I was a little butthurt I didn't get to hand her one of the bracelets I made for her.
You made her a bracelet?
Yeah. If you're up on Taylor Swift concerts, there are friendship bracelets, and I received a bunch of them being there, but I wanted to give Taylor Swift one with my number on it. Not right now.
Your number's in 87 or your phone number?
You know which one. She doesn't meet anybody, or at least she didn't want to meet me. So I took it personal.
She probably just hasn't gotten over the Super Bowl yet. She's a big Eagles fan. Maybe she just made something up and just didn't want to talk to you.
She's an Eagles fan? That's Travis Kelce.
Did he admit that he kind of was trying to shoot his shot but didn't get a chance to shoot?
He did. Of course, that
shot clock ran out.
Yeah, he shot his shot. It just did. Well, he didn't get a chance to take the shot. You're right.
Yeah, he didn't get a chance. Shot clock ran out of time. Ball stuck in the corner. Didn't get to shoot.
Have you ever done anything like that?
Shot my shot?
Well, shot your shot in a way that would have been unique, like making a friendship bracelet.
No.
Not that, but something
absolutely
akin to
not. I remember rapper Nelly. This is back when he was first getting hot. He had taken. It was this little show they had on BET. It was called 106 in Park. He had took Beyonce some Popeyes because he knew Beyonce. This is prior to her being with Jay-Z. He brought her some Popeyes chicken onto the set. And yeah, if you're Hillary, if you're Hillary Clinton, you keep the hot sauce in your purse and then lose the election. Yeah. But yeah, I remember him taking Beyonce some Popeyes. I thought that was a little bit weird. I've heard sending a drink is weird.
Now you can't unless they actually see it made.
Yeah, because then you get roofies. So what's your go? I don't have pickup lines, Rob. I don't have a pickup line.
But I never had that.
So what did you say when you approached your wife, or did you have to approach her? Were y'all in together in a group? What school Edwin, so he knows when it's time, when he does find that special someone and he lays eyes on her and he makes a beeline over there. What should he say?
It's always really kind of just obvious. Hi, my name is Rob. What's your name? You certainly are beautiful.
That's what worked for me. I mean, I walked over to my wife in the middle of the atrium.
I don't do this all the time, but I had to come to you.
The hip hop room. Hello, how are you doing? And it turned into 20-something years. Yeah. How are you doing? Keep it simple, fellas. Like the whole whatever running through my mind crap, just hello, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Works. Because the thing about it is, my OG taught me this: conversation rules the nation. If you got good conversation and you're easy to talk to and you can make her laugh here and there, you're good. Now, because I don't give a damn how great your pickup line is. If you ain't got no conversation and you can't make her laugh, it ain't gonna last anyway.
You have to have a third move. You have to have a first, second, and third conversation.
Yeah. Hey, how you doing?
Roll through it. And
because I took a different approach at first, and she kept walking. It didn't work. I was like, okay. But I kept. I was Kobe then. I kept shooting. Like she had already dissed me earlier that night. Walked right by me because I was like, hey, say, come here. And she was like, excuse me? Like, how dare you? I'm the baddest chick in this club, and you gonna give me the say, girl, come here? Kept walking. So I was like, all right, that was a bad shot. That was a 3 in traffic. So,
almost got put on the bench.
So let me do this again. 2 dribbles, pull up from the elbow. Turned into 20-something years. Simple, right?
So
keep it simple, Rob. So y'all thought we were gonna come in here and be like, oh, you've been running through my. No, it's simple.
Though I will give him respect with his phone number on a
No, Rob. You know what?
That's actually that shows forethought. That shows plan.
Rob, I guarantee you 50 million dudes have done that.
Probably.
Travis, God helped you out, brother.
God
help you out, because that would have been a travesty. No pun intended.
The first time I ran into Travis Kelce in person, first time I ever saw him.
In the full Supreme.
He was in Supreme from shoe to hat. I mean, I hope they were paying him for it. It looked like a victim.
Oh, I guarantee you. I guarantee. I don't know if they were paying him, but I guarantee you he didn't pay for it.
But at some point, mix in another label. That was all I thought. But I was just jealous because he was draped
up and dripped out. Know what I'm talking about?
You know, yesterday, as is typical, huge news dropped regarding the Big 12. And at 7:30, we're going to talk about the imminent return of Colorado to the Big 12 and the ramifications of this. It's big news. It really is. We've been waiting on this because this affects the Pac-12. They still don't have a TV deal.
Screw the Pac-12. Just make it go away.
This affects the schools that are maybe trying to figure out what they're going to do. It certainly affects the Big 12. And Dion is now the most powerful man in outside of the SEC in college football.
Yes.
We're going to talk about that. Also, Congress is dialing in on an NIL bit of legislation that seems like a return to the old, though. This is what happens when the pendulum swings. We'll tell you exactly which bills are floating around out there and how they affect the local collegiate athlete. Good and bad in there, but certainly we know there's a fair amount of regulation coming. But coming back, of course, the sounds of Oxnard.
You like that? You like that?
I like that. I like that.
The sounds of Oxnard.
The sounds of Oxnard. They were cracking helmets yesterday as practice has begun. We're going to hear from Mike McCarthy regarding his quarterback, his offense, his running back, and his brand new highly paid cornerback. That's next. And a whole lot more. You're on R&R. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, we're going to talk a little Texans football. The General, John McClain, will join us at 5:15. C.J. Stroud, the starter.
Well, so you said a little Texans football, plus a lot of Cowboys football as they continue training camp out in Oxnard. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Back to school is on, and Staples has great prices on everything you need for your best year yet. Save on notebooks. Save on headphones and laptops. Save on pens, markers, and all the essentials. And right now at Staples, save up to 60% on select notebooks, markers, and more. School on, save on at Staples, where school savings are always in session. N729. Prices may vary in-store and online.
If you're hiring, it can feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. Like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Now try ZipRecruiter free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/FREE.
That's Mike saying good morning. It's the best he can do right now. Yeah, not a cloud in the sky. What Mike could use is a fresh start. And Irish Spring Body Wash. The fresh scent of Irish Spring and those sensational Irish Spring suds are just the reset Mike needs. Now he's ready
to go to work.
It's Sunday. Irish Spring. When the spring hits you, you're ready. Pick up Irish Spring today.
Do you have heart failure and often hear,
"Those stomach issues ruined your birthday"?
"You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa."
"Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis."
If these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist and ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATTR-CM, a rare and underdiagnosed disease that gets worse over time. Learn more at connecttoyourheart.com. That's connecttoyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I can't wait for what's next. Even with higher stroke risk due to atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Eliquis, the Apixaban tablets, reduces stroke risk. It's the #1 cardiologist-prescribed blood thinner.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke.
Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or have antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising, or if you have tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take medicines such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to 4hims.com/joy. That's FORHIMS.com/JOY.
Welcome back to Total Wine. What brings you in today?
Hey, Ruthie. I need help filling the ultimate beach cooler.
Well, we have the most hard seltzers and amazing canned cocktails anywhere, like High Noon, Cutwater, White Claw, Truly, Topo Chico, Jack Daniels and Coke, Neutral Vodka Seltzer, and Cayman Jack Zero Sugar Margarita in cans.
Wow. I'm going to be the king of the cooler.
And we have them at the lowest prices in town. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More. Drink responsibly, be 21.
From the George Salinas Personal Injury Attorney Studios, this is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville. KTFM Floresville. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Scary day in Oxnard as safeties Donovan Wilson was carted off the field and Israel Makuamu limped off with a hamstring injury. The Houston Texans wide receiver John Mechie III was cleared to fully participate in training camp after missing all of last year after he was diagnosed with leukemia. And UTSA's own Tyreek Woolen comes in at 76 on the NFL Top 100.
Sports Center is brought to you by BraintreeNutrition.com. Better sleep, more focus. BraintreeNutrition.com.
It's 0600. What's the O stand for? Oh my God, it's early.
Wake me up, wake me up, wake up, wake me up. Oh, wake me up, wake up.
Rob Thompson.
Ginobili the other way in transition to the left-hand slap.
I want some nasty.
Rudy J.
Cowboys win. How else would you settle this game?
Begin each day as if it were on purpose.
I wake up in the morning, I kiss excellence.
R&R in the morning on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, good morning.
Just a little microphone maintenance here. Don't mind me.
Yeah, you good.
It's all
Take your time.
wired tight together. Welcome to R&R, Hour 2. If you missed Hour 1, go to
Shame
our
on you.
newfangled, fancy, re-engineered website. Go to sasportstar.com. And
it looks nice.
You can listen to our audio vault. Just scroll down there, that very pleasant scroll thing that we now have.
Scroll.
Now,
Scroll.
Speaking of our
What's up?
live feed there on YouTube, I never really thought of it as boring as far as the placement, the layout.
What do you
Do you view our the triple box, the tri box, as Scott Henson would say, or whatever his name is from?
I feel like I feel like, don't get me wrong. I
Do we need to group this
appreciate
up?
it. I appreciate it, Rob. But we're far too handsome to be such small boxes. People need to see us better.
I got that.
Now, when
Okay.
I watch it at home on YouTube, like when I watch Jason and Joe at home on YouTube, it comes out much bigger on the television.
Oh, so you're watching it
I
straight
watch
off
it on
your
TV.
TV.
I
Oh,
watch it
wow,
on TV.
that'd be cool. So
Yeah.
people could watch us on TV.
So
right
yeah,
now?
I get to see Jason Minnick's readers
Oh wow, I
on
had
my
no
80-inch
idea.
TV.
I didn't realize we could get that.
Have you ever seen Joe Reinegel's hair on an 80-inch television?
It's a glorious thing.
It is.
It's mindful of the GI Joes of my past. Sheer perfection.
He had on pink shorts yesterday.
Yes,
Speaking
he
of
did.
Ryan Nagel, I appreciate the fact that I've influenced Joe to have the confidence to walk around in pink
he
shorts.
had to.
I'm here to help, bro.
He
We
had to do
swaggy,
it
we
because
drippy over here.
He had to match that pink flamingo Golf Club of Texas shirt.
That's a fly shirt.
That was.
That's a very fly
Speaking
shirt.
of, nice hat.
Thank you. GCTX, baby.
And that hat space is always for sale.
Yes, it is.
So-
Yes, it is. You want to put your taqueria
You
up
want
here
to
on my
put it
hat?
on there?
Pay
We'll
up.
NASCAR it up, baby.
Yes, sir.
This has been a funny week for running backs.
Yeah, go ahead, Rob.
Well, I heard yesterday you got the owner of the Colts, Irsay, coming out and saying, the very idea of running backs gathering together and speaking of flies in the face of the CBA that we both, us and the players, have negotiated these many years, and we have compromised and know your place.
Right.
Running back. But it's kind of true. I mean, running backs do have a bone to pick, considering what we've been led to believe is those are the guys, those are the heroes, and no longer in the eyes of the owners are they worth the pay. And we felt bad for guys like Tony Pollard and Josh as the train has left the station and the good backs ain't getting paid. Do you feel bad for Tony Pollard today?
Before Tony got in front of the media yesterday, I did. I was like, man, we both said, hey, you know what, Tony, you coming from Memphis, you're a 4th-round pick. Sure, that you'd have to be making $10 million, but at the same time, the running back position is kind of screwed. But in Tony's eyes, Edwin, it's his progress.
I mean, everybody wants to get a deal done, but like you said, it was a step. It was a progress for me. So that's how I'm looking at it right now, and then just trying to be positive about things.
Now, see that I can't think of the name of the movie, but there was this movie where this mom and this daughter, there's this dude, he has them kidnapped and he keeps them in this room. They cannot get out of the room. And you feel awful for this child, because this child just trapped in this room, been trapped in this room since they were born. They're now 5-6 years old. Well, the mom finally escapes. They finally escape, Rob. And the daughter wants to go back because that's all she knows.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
The
That's
Shawshank thing.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's all they know. So I'm sitting here feeling awful for Tony Pollard. All the while, Tony's like, what is wrong with you people? Like, I'm good, bro. Like, if you would have told me 4 years ago I was gonna make $10 million in a state tax-free state like Texas, I would have called you crazy and told you, hell yeah, I'll take that any day. So I'm not, why do we continue to feel sorry for people that are happy in their situation? Like, oh man, I feel bad for you, man. You live on that side of town. Actually, I could have moved 10 years ago. I like living here. You're like, oh, okay.
That's all relative.
You know what I mean? Tony doesn't give us that Najee Harris, that Josh Jacobs, the Saquon Barkley feel. I don't feel that when I heard Tony speak yesterday.
But there was a tinge of, well, I mean, this is the situation. This is the bed I'm in. I mean, this is where I'm at. This is the situation we're in. I'm not alone in this. So I'm just make the best of it. No, by the way, I just got a $7 million raise.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, it is what it is. I signed the tag. I'm here in Canton. I'm just ready to focus on the main thing and just stick to winning.
Thinking $10 million's okay?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
That's fine with me.
Across the country, you got Najee going full blown. This is a travesty, and how dare they? And they chew us up and they spit us out. And Tony's like, I'll take 10 million.
I'm good. I like the relative point of view. And
what's the relative point of view?
Relative is you put yourself in his shoes. You just got a $7 million raise. You just made generational kind of money. No matter what,
no matter what,
get paid this. This is going to happen. There are certainly worse days for a player to have. And also, if we want to look at this in a half full kind of world,
I try to live life that way.
That he does have a tremendous opportunity in front of him. That this is a contract year. And while he might not be able to squeeze 10 million out of the Cowboys again, you go out this year and you put up 1,500 yards and you catch 500 yards and you score 12 touchdowns, you're going to make 10 million minimum again. You're going to make it again.
Right.
And all you got to do is go out and just be who we think you're going to be.
Right.
So there are certainly worse situations to be in.
I think, and I truly, and I mean this, I'm not just saying that because Rob's sitting across from me. Tony's taking the approach what Rob taught me in November, 8 months ago, and I've been living by this for 8 months, and I live by it, like, really, when I'm talking about on my worst days, I live by this. When I had some health issues, I came here, I told Rob before we got on there, and Rob looked at me, and he said, you get one day to feel sorry for yourself. and the next day you got to get going. That's it. You got to live by that. And I think that's how Tony Pollard is. Like, would I have liked to gotten a great deal? Yeah, but it is what it is, and I got $10 million, and he's moved on. You know, and I'm not saying that Najee or Josh Jacobs or any of those guys are wrong in their thought process, but I think Tony's approach is how I've tried to live my life 8 days. Like, when I have my worst days, I'm like, okay, today I'm gonna moan and groan, and tomorrow I'm gonna wake up and start figuring out solutions, and just and live in and play the cards that I've been dealt. You know what I mean? And I think that's the approach that Tony does. I'm not saying that Tony don't want $15 million a year over the next 5 years. Of course he does, but he understands the market. He understands the market, and he woke up the day after he didn't get the deal done and said, I do have $10 million. You get one day to feel sorry for yourself, Edwin. I'm dead ass serious. I've been living by that since November, and I think it's a great approach. And if Tony's not mad, I ain't mad. I can't be mad for Tony if he ain't mad.
And he has gotten a great opportunity, and I hope that he does realize it. But unfortunately, sometimes you get bored too early or too late. You never know. And,
in their case, it's definitely too late. Y'all missed the boat by 3. Your pops was about 3 years late, fellas.
Now he's going to play certainly a role in this Texas coast offense. For sure.
Just Texas. No AS.
We're trying, and that'll be one of the first things that we talk about with McCarthy. So maybe we can get this fixed early in camp.
He spoke about that.
Yeah,
Tex
and we're gonna get him to just go to Tex Coast and nip it in the bud, and we'll just start anew if we can get a hold of him early on during next week. But there is this idea of new offense versus old, and how are we going to use this plethora of wide receivers? Now, it's the surprising thing that we saw, the very first interception was thrown. The first pass of training camp, and the guy that was pinpointed there's a fight for number 5 at what. So let's think about so the wide receivers are of course CD and Cooks, and then we got Gallup back, and you figure Tolbert should be number 4, right? Maybe. We hope.
Maybe. It ain't gonna be for Hoko if he can't catch. He's causing Dak to get interceptions.
The semi for Hoko. But the good news is that's a very full and talented room. And Coach McCarthy was asked about how is he going to use these wide receivers and how is he going to shuffle that deck.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think, just like anything, a big part of having, elite playmakers is, it's the same conversation we have all the time in here about Micah. If you line up, an elite player, a playmaker in the same spot all the time, it's easier for the opposition to try to take them away. So, one of the things, because, obviously with Brandon being new, watching, his route tree and, particularly the menu that he's really excelled at in his past experiences, we obviously paid close attention to that. So, and it's really the same conversation with Michael Gallup. We don't want to just line Michael up at the X spot all the time too. So, these answers really fall in the area of details that I'm talking about. The concept may be the same, but you may have different players lining up in different spots to excel at that. Because at the end of the day, like I remind our guys, time and time again, I've never seen a quarterback get fired for for having bad run game footwork, or spending too much time in the run game, but at the end of the day, it's about throwing the football. It's about winning 2-minute drills and so forth. So the connection between the quarterback and the route running of the perimeter group is a major focus for us.
Well, keep in mind, last year when they made that change to start putting CD in the slot more, he took off. So this isn't new. There's nothing new under the sun in the NFL. So McCarthy saying, "Hey, we're going to move receivers around." Now Dallas media and us we'll play it and we'll run with it like, "Hey, oh my God," he says. But actually, that's normal.
Well, forgive me.
You want to move your best players around because, like you said, it's too easy to key on.
I'm gonna catch that ball in the flat and go.
Yeah, exactly.
So what I took from that was that it took him a long time to get to where the meat of that was for me in that statement. At the end, he talked about the connection between the quarterback and the wide receiver is the key. And I think no matter what offense we're going to see, that's the most important, most pressing thing that McCarthy has to address, because I don't think there's a good quality connection between Dak and his wide receivers. And I'm not saying that they're not on the same page, but when you see so many balls hit guys in the hands. Now these are, I mean, the semi thing, it hit him in the hands.
It was a perfect throw.
It was. It hit him in the hands, and it tipped up. Is that a connection thing or a talent thing? Because it seems like this happens more to Dak than most quarterbacks.
Maybe he throws it too hard.
Maybe that's part of the. I don't know, but
that's Jason Minnick's answer.
How many of those balls that were intercepted last year, truly in your heart of hearts, you go, dude, wide receiver?
Of the 15, I would say 10 of them were on Dak.
On Dak.
The other 5 are like, dude, unfortunate.
So, but is it unfortunate when it hits your receiver in the hands like that? Is that an unfortunate for Dak?
I mean, the Jaguars, Noah Brown comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
According to Greg Olsen, who knows way more about football than me, both of the interceptions, while they didn't hit him in the hand, both of the interceptions in the Green Bay game, according to Greg Olsen, was on CeeDee Lamb route running. So that's 3. I already gave you 3 off the top of my head. Now, if I go back through the film like he and McCarthy did, I may find more than 5 that really weren't on Dak. And keep in mind, Dak isn't shy about letting us know that all those interceptions aren't his fault. He let us know quite a bit last year, like, look, hey, we got to get on the same page. He's got to go underneath it. He's got to go up top. He's got to know what to do. So, yeah, maybe I'm cheating Dak. Maybe 9 are on Dak and 6 are on the receivers or tight ends.
Edwin, doing his usual crack production, has got a bunch of videos popping up of some of the INTs, and the one to Rayshon Jenkins.
That was on Noah Brown. That is not on Dak.
Noah.
I'm giving that. That was a great throw. Should have been a first down.
Just because you got a receiver that's on his knees doesn't mean that's where it was supposed to be. Wasn't where it was supposed to be. You know what I mean? That's ball placement. Catch that football. So that one fell directly on him. McCarthy did talk about his Tex Coast offense implementation yesterday.
I would not say we're moving away from we're not moving away from anything that we've done in the past, because it's our foundation, and I mean, you go back to the first day when I arrived here, it was important to keep the language for Dak Prescott. So, concepts are always, you're trying to grow. Every concept has a history, and the scheme design, in my view, always fits into a family. It's important to keep growing those families and have variations of it. So, our approach is to build off of what we've established, as an offense. But I think you clearly got to recognize that, when I said the 30%, the 30% number I was really focused on was language, because language is such a big part of this. And if I have to learn new words, which I've had since I've been here, and the crazy part is the same word means a totally opposite about 50 different times. So I still screw it up once in a while, but that's such a big part. But the concepts are the concepts. The schemes are the schemes. We put a tremendous amount of time in detail in the concepts as we've added the wrinkles that you have to add. You have to protect your base concepts every year and give it variation and definition, and that comes into details, and that's really where I think our players and coaches have done a really good job, in the off season, because we talked about learning it, through phase 1 and through phase 2, then we talked about detailing it in phase 3, and I feel like we accomplished it. Now we got to go practice and perfect it. So
phase 3, but a couple things there. That we just saw 2 interceptions that were squarely on Dak, but how many? I'm not an NFL or even a football guy, but I imagine anybody who's ever played wide receivers at any level will tell me there's only so many routes, right? There's like 9 routes.
There's a route tree.
Yeah. And then the route tree is the same.
The route tree.
Wherever I go, it's just what you call it.
Amen.
Right? So what he's telling us is the premise is the same. It's what we call it is different.
Yes, he said language, and he said there's some new words that I got to learn, and he also said, hey, you know what? I even mess it up sometimes. Now, here's the thing, though. They just show, and it's crazy. And if you wonder why we talk so much Cowboys, I mean, I look up on the screen and Get Up's on, and their first topic is the Dallas Cowboys. And under the last 4 seasons, when Mike McCarthy was calling plays for the Green Bay Packers, he did not have a 1,000-yard rusher. So this March 1st, run the damn ball crap. And then he just tells us a couple of sound bites ago, it's about throwing the football.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day, it's about throwing the football. And him and Shotty telling us a little bit, well, I don't know, maybe a month ago at OTA, he's like, hey, you know what? A lot of this has to do, we got to get Dak's footwork in line with the route tree. They're going to, I mean, yes, are they taking some of the food off of the plate? Yes, but they're still going to throw the ball around.
Hey, Thomas Rhett fans, get on your device.
Is it
We're
that
about
time?
to give away some tickets. It's Hot Ticket Thursday.
It's Hot Ticket Thursday. Be the ninth caller at 210-656-ESPN. And you could be on your way. The hottest tickets to the hottest events. Ninth caller wins.
That's why it pays to listen all day, every day. It's Hot Ticket Thursday. Thomas Rhett tickets this hour. Next hour, I want to make sure I say this right because it sounds like from something from the Game of Thrones.
Who is Thomas Rhett, by the way, while you look for that?
Good old country singer.
Oh, okay.
You'll be at the Moody in August, and if you're dialing right now, you could go. In an hour, we're giving away tickets to go see Pierce the Veil. They got on the Jaws of Life tour.
Gotcha.
And they'll be at the SP.
Yeah, now, sitting here watching a lot of the Dak interceptions, and then he throws the interception to start training camp. When you watch Dak play, if you just watched all these interceptions, you're like, man, this guy's not very good. But Dak makes some great throws as well. But some of these interceptions are so bad.
And that is just...
And he gets in trouble when he's patting the ball. When Dak pats the ball or when Dak pump fakes or if Dak throws off of his back foot. So a lot of this is technique.
I'm glad you just brought something up.
A lot of this is technique.
Technique. And also when he's patting the ball, that tells me he's going to his second, third, fourth check down. You know, when he's trying to find somebody.
Absolutely.
So I'm glad you went down this road because I'm kind of taking away something from what McCarthy is saying. Should we go back and look at McCarthy's first year?
So that would have been 2020.
And look at that offense. Would that be as he newly arrived and he brought the offense, but they didn't give it the name that the offense had because they had to keep the cowboy nomenclature.
Well, yeah, because see, that was the thing. Kellen was there. He had been handed Kellen.
But I think
then Dak broke his leg.
But maybe that's it.
Yeah, Dak broke his legs.
Because I'm trying, and from what he's saying, we shouldn't expect a whole lot different. But then all the numbers and everything else tells us that running game's going to decrease, not increase.
Yeah,
but
absolutely. And he said we're keeping the foundation, meaning like, look, I'm not going to just take away what Dak has done well. Like that would just be bad coaching, just to be like, all right, scrap everything that you've done. That's like a coach changing your shooting form. Like I mean, I want you. There's some things that I can correct within your form and make you shoot a better percentage. It would be stupid and bad coaching and a horrible decision to take away everything that Kellen developed with Dak Prescott. But again, Mike made this decision. Mike initiated it because of a timing thing. When to run and when to pass. I don't mind us passing the ball as long as we're running it in situations we should be running it. Because he told us when I first got here in 2021. There's be certain situations where we're going to run the ball when the entire stadium knows we're going to run the ball. I think Kellen and Dak got away from that. Kellen gave Dak the freedom to say, if it looks like they're ready, they're setting up to take away the run, you audible the hell out of that thing. And I think there's going to be some times where Mike says, I don't give a damn in what you see. You turn around and you hand the ball off. So it's a timing thing and a discipline thing and a holding people accountable thing with Mike McCarthy, especially because he's next in line on the chopping block. I don't give a damn if Stephen Jones did tell him he wants them to be Tom Landry.
We're going to hear from Tony Pollard talk about the new offense, what he is seeing, and all the new responsibility of the number one running back and what that entails. More Pollard talk for sure. But coming back, Deion Sanders is the most powerful man in college football today.
That's a hell of a statement, Rob. And let me sleep on that during the break.
The Board of Governors for the University of Colorado are gathering today in Boulder, and I'm pretty comfortable in the fact that what we heard last night is true. They are going to announce their exit from the Pac-12 and apply for membership in the Big 12, and it will happen sooner than later. What does that mean to both the Big 12 and the Pac-12? What does it mean to Colorado, and who else will be affected by it? Huge news there. Also, Congress talking about an NIL regulation, nationwide regulatory action coming out of Congress, and some of what they're wanting to bring in sounds a lot like what we had before, and I don't think anybody wants that. We're talking college sports next, and you don't want to miss it. Specifically, does 3 years sound like a appropriate reaction to the transfer portal, that and others next. You're on R&R. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Car wrecks are awful. We hate them. Nobody ever wants it to happen, but it's, unfortunately it happens all the time. And after car wreck, especially a couple days after, you're feeling overwhelmed, but you're also find out, you're dealing with adrenaline. You thought you weren't in any pain. Next thing you're missing work, you're missing lost wages, medical bills piling up, and of course, insurance claims and legal complexities. Call the Rexperts at Hilly & Solis. Hilly & Solis understand physical and the emotional toll and the financial toll that car wrecks are going to have on your life. They'll listen to your story, answer the questions, and they're going to fight hard to get you that compensation you so deserve. They have seen it all as former prosecutors. But the thing about Hilly & Solis is they don't know just how to fight. They know how to win. Again, the insurance companies, we all know what they are in for. They're in for themselves. They want to settle it fast, and they want to settle it for as little as possible. But keep in mind, after these car wrecks, time is of the essence. Deadlines to file claims. Don't wait to get the legal help you need. Hilly & Solis are experienced litigators. Let them fight for your rights and your financial freedom. Call Hilly & Solis for a free, no-obligation consultation now at 210-762-6261. That's 210-762-6261.
It's 1,400 miles to training camp. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Beginning Monday, the guys are on the road again. This time, San Antonio sports star travels to Cowboys training camp in Oxnard, California.
Deep down the right side. Oh, it's caught.
With the full support of AA Best Bail Bonds, providing complete backup for any of those things that happen while on the road. Nobody provides better coverage of training camp than 94.1 San Antonio sports star.
Left side of the end zone. Touchdown.
We'll hear from the players, coaches, be right in the middle of the media frenzy, and of course, hear from owner Jerry Jones.
We get to suck on that all week.
It's Cowboys training camp, live from Oxnard, California. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, Texas Cheer Liquor, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, and sasportstar.com.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
At SimpliSafe, we've designed award-winning home security with advanced sensors, HD cameras, and now this 24/7 lifeguard protection, only from SimpliSafe. Now, monitoring agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplisafe.com/radio. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
At Diamonds Direct, we want to make something very clear. We will absolutely beat the price of any comparable diamond that you find anywhere else. No fine print, no disclaimers, just a rock-solid, unqualified nationwide price guarantee. And this goes for 1-carat diamonds as well as 15 and 20-carat diamonds. You see, at Diamonds Direct, we're more than just another jewelry store. We're part of a world diamond powerhouse with direct access to the world's top diamond mines. We have our own diamond cutters too, so we are active in every aspect of the diamond market every single day, from source to showroom. So when you see a diamond somewhere else, online or in a store, or from some so-called supplier, just know that apples for apples, you will get a better price at Diamonds Direct. Our volume, our connections, our buying power make this possible, and it's why we've never ever lost a sale due to price. So at a time when value means so much, we invite you to take this challenge and let us prove it. Day in and day out, you will always get a better quality diamond at a better price at Diamonds Direct. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. Online at diamondsdirect.com.
Texas, the Mega Millions jackpot is over $900 million, and you can now buy official Texas lottery tickets right from your phone with jackpot.com. Go to jackpot.com, choose your lottery game, pick your lucky numbers, and get your winnings instantly. Plus, get a free ticket with your first play. Get in on the action. Go to jackpot.com and buy lottery tickets on your phone. Go to jackpot.com. That's jackpot.com. Jackpot.com. Paid for by jackpot.com. You must be 18 or older to order a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Hi, we're Comparion Insurance Agency. Right now you're thinking, Comparion, never heard of them. We know.
We also know that you have no idea that comparing insurance agents are local and provide expert advice. So to help it stick, we're going to say local agent 4 times in the next 15 seconds. Ready? Go. Our local agents know you and your community. Our local agents offer insurance from top carriers. Our local agents have minty fresh breath.
Find us at comparinginsurance.com. Comparion Insurance Agency. Local agents, expert advice.
And there's number 4.
Have you ever noticed that when the afternoon light hits your floors, you can see everything, including dust?
So much dust.
And that floor dust gets kicked up into the air, compromising the quality of air you and your family breathe.
Eesh.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper is the fast and easy way to clean your floors with ultra-thick pads that trap and lock dust before it gets in the air. Just a couple minutes a day.
And dust is gone.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper. Proud partner of the American Lung Association.
Want my secret for how to prep for summer getaways and get-togethers and get everything for less? Get to Kohl's. I just shopped their friends and family sale and saved an extra 20% on sunny day essentials, like tees and tanks for my family for $9.99, a cute pair of shorts for me, and everything we needed to set up our patio. So get to Kohl's and save on cool finds for hot days. You'll thank me later. Select styles, 20% offer ends July 30th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Ask Sherwin-Williams during the Shades of Summer sale, July 28th through August 7th, and get 35% off paints and stains with prices starting at $28.92. That means 35% off our most popular color family, blue. Psychologists have found it to be soothing and relaxing, which makes it especially great for bedrooms and bathrooms. And of course, get 35% off all of our other colors. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Attention heavy equipment mechanics, San Antonio is hiring. The starting pay $22.67 an hour, plus incentives, benefits, and advancement opportunities. There's a job fair Saturday, July 29th at 6927 West Commerce, and you can apply on the spot. Stop by Saturday, July 29th, 9 a.m. till noon, 6927 West Commerce. Complete information is at sarecycles.org. Mechanics needed, so visit sarecycles.org.
Good morning, everybody. Joe Reinagle here. Coming up later on The Blitz. Obviously, we are talking Cowboys football. Zach Martin, does he have a new deal yet? Plus, the Houston Texans have not named a starting quarterback. I wonder if the General John McClain knows anything about that. We'll talk to him at 5:15. Hey, Rudy, I'm making you vice president of the Pink Shorts Club.
Vice president? How am I going to be the vice president of the Pink Shorts Club? I got to be the president. But okay, if it's
well, you're the only two.
Yeah, Joe is the actual legend of the two, so he can be president. I'll be vice president. It's cool.
Do you want to be president of that club?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, I mean,
I'll carry that flag.
You're known by the company you keep.
I'll try that in a small town, which is the story of our, which is sad. Everything that we need to get done, we arguing about a damn song.
Not in my town.
Not in my town.
Not in my town.
I am from a small town called Tyler, Texas.
Is Colorado Springs or I'm sorry, Boulder.
Boulder. Is Boulder a small town?
No, Boulder's a good town. And if you're a University of Texas type, go ahead and book your tickets now for a little roadie getaway, as the Big 12 is going to add one more.
But when Deion gets there, they'll be gone. Boulder's only 104,000.
Oh, they'll be gone. That's right.
Yeah, Texas will be gone, but
104,000. It's a good town. Boulder is a fun, good college town.
Never been to Colorado. Never.
Denver's not as much as you think it's going to be. I'm not. I mean, Denver's a fun place to visit if you're going for a Bronco game or a.
Well, I know my
Buffs
sister
game.
did her bachelorette there, and they went skiing,
And they're skiing and close, and of course there's the weed.
Yeah, of course.
But and Red Rocks if you're going for a show.
But if I'm gonna go,
but
for
it's
the weed,
not
I'd
a
rather
pretty
go to Cal.
town. Well, it's
What
not
do you
a
mean
pretty
it's not
town.
pretty?
It's not. It's not.
See,
Denver
I
is
picture
not.
Denver pretty.
It's not. It's on
So it's not Park City, Utah.
Oh, not even close.
Okay, it's not.
It's really not.
I
There's
feel
not a
you,
lot.
I
I
feel
mean,
you.
Denver, there's reason to go, but there's not reason to go back. Unless you got a reason, you got a purpose.
Yeah.
It appears that the Board of Governors is gathering today at the University of Colorado, and they're going to announce that they're finally going to leave the Pac-12 and rejoin what was a less than fruitful partnership 20 years ago, as they were in the Big 12 way back when. Didn't work out. This is huge. We knew it was possible, if not imminent. But the bringing of the Deion-ness to the Big 12 is a big deal. And this
you
wouldn't
said
have
he's
occurred.
you said Deion's the most powerful what?
Well, the most powerful man in college football today. Now, he's not overall. Sankey, I think, with the SEC holds.
But what about where you rank him? So you got it, Nick, Kirby, Deion, even
right now. Think about the millions and millions. I won't say hundreds of millions, but at the end of the day, it will turn out to be that
for sure.
Hundreds of millions of dollars that are riding on this decision, and this wouldn't have happened but for Deion arriving in Boulder. It would. I mean,
they go from what was it, like 12 tickets at their spring game to sold out.
Let me tell you, I went to a Colorado Texas A&M game 3 years ago. 2 years ago.
2 years ago. I was here.
This is in Denver at the I always want to call it Mile High, but at the Broncos Stadium. And it was 80-20 Aggies to Buffaloes. I mean, we had 80% of that stadium. Yeah. We filled that place. We hadn't been there before. So a big travel.
Like San Francisco 49er fan in Dallas.
Definitely. Or Cowboy fan in Arizona. Exactly. Yeah. That's what it felt like. And so the resurgence in the program, certainly, but the ability to pull Colorado out of what they were to what they're about to become is a huge thing. Nobody has had that kind of stick in a long time.
And the thing about it is, Rob, your mark and the gang don't even call Colorado if Deion's not there.
No.
So it goes along with you saying how powerful he is and the impact that he's already had. And then you have Narduzzi and Venables and Nick Saban all have come for him. You don't come for somebody that don't matter.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I think, you know what, he is up there, Robin. I think this is brilliant on your mark's part. But if I'm your mark, like, why am I stopping there? Okay, maybe it's Colorado and Arizona. Maybe it's Colorado, Arizona State. Maybe it's Colorado and Utah, and then you get the Holy War because you already have BYU.
Mm-hmm.
Utah has a great football program, solid basketball program. Colorado has Deion. If I'm your mark, I'm not stopping there because now first of all, I hate odd numbers. I don't know if it messes with my feng shui. So they're at 14 now. When Texas OU leave, now if Colorado joins, they'll be at 13. You got to get that an even number, right?
You just for scheduling purposes.
Just do it for me, for
and
my
that
OCD.
OCD kind of thing. But it does. The one thing about having an odd number, especially if the intent is to play everybody, it does allow you one more open week where you can kind of schedule somebody.
It's idle, Rob.
Well, maybe idle, but it does allow you some flexibility to do that. So I would say it would make sense to go. But you also have to throw in the wild card of they've been talking to UConn and Gonzaga for basketball only. So I don't know how that would play into the addition of another football team.
You brought me along the side of you, Rob. Like, I like Gonzaga, but football is king. But then a part of me says, okay, well, we're not going to be the SEC. We're not going to be the Big Ten. We can't compete on a football level, even if we do bring Colorado over. So why not go ACC style, Rob, and just be the dominant basketball conference?
And Tad Boyle brings a pretty good program from Colorado into the Big 12. I mean, they've won the Pac-12 tourney. Gave us Derek White. I'm going to give him a little bit of love. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, didn't George King from San Antonio go play there? I think we had a kid play there.
You know better. You know better than me. But your buddy, good guy, used to be here on this network, Paul Feinbaum. What he had to say about the Pac-12 and what this means.
This could be seismic, and I don't want to trash the Pac-12 any more than we already have, but you might as well just give them last rites if they lose Colorado, because right now Colorado has Deion, one of the most important names in college sports.
Oh,
and
I hadn't heard this.
If they end up leaving, what are they going to do out there?
Yeah, what are they going to do? And if there's only one opening,
Andre Roberson
is Andre Roberson. I knew we had a San Antonio kid go. There's a race to get that last spot. I'm in the Pac-12.
If you're in the Pac-12, aren't you sending out your resume right now?
Holy
Like,
cow.
why would you can't get a TV deal? USC's gone. UCLA is gone. Deion and Colorado Buffaloes are gone. Like, no one's going to care. Like, we didn't care when USC was there. We didn't stay up on Saturday nights when UCLA was there. I may have stayed up to watch Deion. I'll probably stay up to watch Deion this year because.
Well, we will. That's just it.
Yeah. So if you're Pac-12, if you're Arizona or Arizona State, Aren't y'all combining forces and shooting your resume to the Big 10 or the Big 12 or wherever, somewhere, anywhere but the Pac-12?
Possible. Now, you do run into I know that San Diego State is certainly just eager, and it does make some sense for the Pac-12 to stay home and get some rooftops
That makes sense,
in
yeah.
Southern California. But the idea of the Arizona schools, is it even possible to split them? I don't know.
I don't think so. Like, I don't think, we'll see, I would have said the same thing about Oklahoma.
And Texas A&M and Texas split too. So it wouldn't.
Yeah, they could split.
But, sometimes, well, I have seen instances, and I can't verify for sure, but there are some, because they're state supported, they might be bound financially to where you can't leave, especially if anybody saw what happened with A&M in Texas and the way the finances were distributed, or now OU and Oklahoma State are going to be dealing with that, and they're not bound at all. So it would really depend who calls first.
Now, let me ask Coach Traylor something. Let me ask Jimbo Fisher something. Let me ask Steve Sarkisian something. Are you worried with Deion coming to Texas?
Very much so.
Considering,
terrified, horrified.
You being serious or sarcastic?
Absolutely. No, it's not for everybody. No, Deion is not for everybody.
No, Deion isn't for everybody. And I'm not saying that he's about
for the
to
guys I want.
Yeah, he's not going to get I'm not saying he's going to have the number one recruiting class or anything, but now he has Texas ties now. He's like, hey, I'm playing TCU. I'm playing Baylor. I'm playing, he's lurking.
Not lurking, Rudy. If I'm a Colorado alum, with this will come some responsibility. I fully expect Colorado to have a top 10 recruiting class year in and year out from here on out. There's no reason why they shouldn't. They're going to have primetime TV. They're going to get plenty of great coverage. They got a coach that by every measure that I've seen, if he can't recruit out of high school, he can certainly recruit out of the portal, and we're going to talk about.
I know, no crap.
He appears to be a program builder. Jackson looks like a different school.
This is different than Jackson State, though.
But
this is different.
You're right. He's not falling off the floor. I mean, he's not getting out of where they were. But the fact remains, Deion, for whatever you believe in him, has been a success everywhere and everything that he's done.
Except the Prime Academy.
That was even a success. It was of its time, and it was functioning in a niche that really has never been successful other than by one school, and that's in Florida. I mean, to create the factory that is, it just wasn't going to happen.
Now, you talk about in a small town, the wolf is in the hen house. That's
true.
James Pledger says the wolf's in the hen house. There's no lurking.
He's here now. Again, he's not going to get every player that Texas A&M chased, but I will say this: he's going to get the players that A&M and Texas want. Those guys that want to play with and about Prime are the guys that A&M and Texas covet as well.
But you know what, Rob? But maybe this is a 46-year-old Rudy speaking. But I'm thinking my choices are Texas, Texas A&M, and Colorado. I'm still picking Texas or Texas A&M.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying.
I mean, I love Deion. Hey, my dad had your shoes. My dad loved you. My dad shows you all your tape. I still rather be at UT or Texas A&M. Like, let's be clear. Like, I hold Deion in the highest of regards as you do. But Colorado still ain't the SEC, and it still ain't Texas, and it still ain't Bama or LSU. It's not that.
But you can get lightning in a bottle.
You can get there.
And Miami used to be,
true.
You're in Miami, no
now
matter
they'd
what.
rather go to UCF.
Now. But every school has its moment, and if you can
think
catch
his moment's coming,
and then there's the sustaining. Clemson wasn't Clemson till Dabo got there. I mean, you got to sustain it. Clemson wasn't. Fair. I mean, it can happen in a mid-level state school. It can. You just got to awaken the alumni. They're in a unique position because they're dead center of the country. I mean, you can
recruit Cali and Texas.
They're kind of a natural fit to recruit the West Coast because they've always been successful there, and this will open up some more of the South where Colorado has never been successful.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's a lot of things that makes it available to them to get there. Now, there's more college sports news, and as we talk about Deion, it's prime time to talk about what Prime has been known for as he arrived in Colorado, and that is the wide open portal. He kicked a lot of his kids in and pulled a lot of his kids out.
He brought his own luggage, and it was Louis
through that portal. Well, there's a couple of acts that are being discussed. Some in Congress to affect and change and to regulate the modern college sports realm with the NILs and transfer portals. We're going to talk about that and the rest of the college sports. But first, I want to tell you about Tri-County Meat Market. Right now, it's Thursday. Did you know at 6 o'clock today, Jason and Joe are going to give away a $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market, something we do every week. And you know how? We ask you to supply a picture, upload a photo at sasportstar.com of something you've been grilling. And if it's coming from Tri-County, you've obviously got a leg up because Tri-County meat, I'll tell you what, is the best you're going to find. A great meal always starts with great meat, and especially when it comes out of Tri-County Meat Market. Foremost, you're going to walk in for the first time, you're going to realize everything just seems to be bigger. It just seems to be thicker, bigger, and better. Well, that's why when you go to a curated meat place, they're going to give you the very best. It starts at prime and gets better. And certainly if you never had akaushi, never tried that Cadillac of meats, they've got it locally sourced from MTX. Beautiful. Out of Mason, Texas, locally sourced and great beef. They're going to have that for you. The chicken is going to be bigger, plumper than you've expected. And their prepared meats are going to be above and beyond. I like to call it restaurant quality. It really is. Over the weekend, I had their fajitas. You're not going to get a better fajita. I don't care what restaurant you go to. And then you get the control of your own cook. So above and beyond that, you get the help of what you want to cook. Those meat cutters know exactly what they're talking about. If you've never had one of those roasts that you tie together with the bones all sticking out, boy, they've got them and they'll tell you how to cook it. If you need the sidebar stuff, everything to go along with it, like your rubs, you're going to find rubs there you're not going to find in the box stores, the real gourmet kind of stuff, and that's just the beginning. The 5 for $25 is always in play. Let me tell you, friends, there is not a better deal in San Antonio. I'm talking about meats and vegetables and everything. There is at least 3 meals in that bag for $25. No better deal, and that's always in play. First responders, 10% off when you walk in the door. What are you waiting on? Over on Huebner Road, out on Ralph Fair, that's Tri-County Meat Market. A great meal starts with great meat. Head over to Tri-County to get today. Throw something on that grill, and I know you're going to be thanking me later. Now, the NIL deal is one thing. Everybody, I think we can all agree that the NILs in college football need to at least have some sort of transparency. I'm not saying you need to regulate it, because if a kid can go make $8 million for eating Cheetos, go make $8 million. I don't give a damn. But I do think we have the right as consumers to know where the money's coming from.
Really?
I do. I think I would like to know that if this is consortium money, I'd like to know where the money's coming from and advertise it. Heck, why not? Why not? Why should it be private? How much they're getting? We know that in the NFL. And if you're going to act like a pro, we're going to treat you like a pro. I just want to know where the money's coming from. That's all I ask. I'm not going to regulate it, but I do want to know if it's the consortium. Is it one dude? Is it a whole bunch of dudes? Is
so
it
if I make up an LLC and just tell you, okay, well, it's blah, blah, blah LLC, that's who I want, you feel better?
Well, I want to.
That's what it is. It's made up companies so they can pay these
No,
kids.
I would think you would want to promote the fact that you're donating money, like the dude, the health club owner for the University of Miami that funded everybody.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I would like to think that at least if you know where the money's coming from, at the very least you can kind of modulate, if not regulate, the ways and hows of the money. So the only thing I really ask now is transparency. And whether you get a McLaren or you get $100 million, I don't care. And no one should, because this is the door that we've decided to open.
You got to let me think on that one.
So you just, and there's nothing wrong with private, but the fact of the matter is, whenever it's private, we're always going to have questions. Just kind of have. And if
so you just kind of basically like, leave your phone out, no passcode. We can all see.
Yeah, let's not have, if we're all open about it, then it won't be a whole lot. I mean, and if there's any kind of cheating, it'll be because it's below board, and that's easy to spot when we're all trying to be open. And if, it's an arms race, just as much as we promote the fact that my football stadium now has 112,000 seats and your only has 104. Ours is better. We want to talk about, guess what? Our NIL consortium now offers $75,000 a year to everybody on the team, and everybody knows it. Now we can regulate how much
like
that is.
Like all of our offensive linemen make $50,000.
I don't care.
That type of transparency.
Yeah, and where's that money coming from? Where's it coming from? I'm just curious.
Well, a wise man once said, always ask why.
I just feel like if you cannot regulate until you can measure. You can't fix until you can measure. And the only way we can measure is to have transparency. How much money is truly out there?
So do you feel like Bob Stoops, Rob, or you feel like he should be ran like pro?
Well, there is an idea that if you're going to act like pros, and we are,
right,
treat them like pros, listen to Stoops,
or we need to just, let's quit calling it college football and call it a pro model. If we're not going to get some guardrails and some kind of governance and some kind of rules to it all. Otherwise, it's a pro model. And now all teams need to hire a GM. You need to start thinking differently and go to a pro model. Maybe then we need a college football commissioner. And some people who can put some kind of regulation. The NFL has regulations, right? Salary caps and this, that, and the other thing. And right now, they have more regulation than college football does. So again, if we're not going to do it, then let's go to a pro model and begin there.
That's
says the Arlington Renegades head coach. Is that what they are? I think they won the title.
Yeah,
in the XFL.
And no one knows more
And
about
I mean,
the
do you
world
like
of
Bob Stoops? I can't take anything Bob Stoops says seriously because for whatever reason, I don't know when I stopped liking Bob Stoops, but I don't really like Bob Stoops, and I don't think I have a real good reason.
Well, the win a big game kind of thing, but
I don't know why I don't like him.
Well,
I just don't.
There was a certain amount of arrogance, but above and beyond what he's saying,
and
it's frightening, isn't it?
It's
a frightening idea.
I know where. Look, this is what I'll say. I hear where he's coming from. I do feel like I do feel like he's over exaggerating it. Like, dude, we need a commissioner, we need GMs. Like, it's not. We're not
there yet, right? But I think the first step, and I think what every coach wants regulated or at least addressed, is the transfer portal. Now, there's a PASS Act that's being promoted by a couple of former athletic types. One guy named Tuberville that was the head coach at Auburn.
He's crazy.
He's a little nutty. He's out there on the far right-hand scale of things for some other stuff. But they're promoting the idea of a 3-year without a free transfer and a 1-year sit-out period, kind of like what the old method was.
That sounds like old school.
And that ain't going to fly.
Well, look.
It's just not.
The thing, again, and you and I have been trying to, teach people this. You can only do the portal free once. After that, you have to sit out a year. So it's not like it's not like you can just portal jump all 4 years. You can't do that.
And here's the thing that has thrown a lot of people off, and we haven't really had a chance to kind of modulate where we're headed. That free COVID year has really kind of confused this whole transfer portal situation because now guys have 5-6 years and there's a transfer portal in there, and you've got scenarios like Frank Harris that's playing 8 years. So we will come back to the mean. We will regress to what was eventually in the next year or two as all those COVID types eventually matriculate out of college. But I don't think going to 3 years I think that's a little too much. But I do give the idea that coaches want some stability. I get it.
This is the problem, Rob. And this is what everybody leaves off that has a problem with this is it turned to pro sports when CBS and NBC and ESPN started throwing around the B word. And that B word is billions. That's when it turned pro. That's when it got weird. Like, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me the CBS is going to pay the SEC a few $1 billion to air the games of these college, at that time, student athletes? That's when the model got flipped. Like, yes, there's always been TV deals, but now there's billions. And I mean, what did every SEC team make last year? Almost $60 million.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Why isn't that considered pro sports? When you got schools making $50 to $60 million a year, the Big Ten's going to make close to 60. I think they're going to make the most. Like that to me is the essence of why we're here, how we got to this place of NIL, because it's like, okay, we can no longer justify them not being able to use their name, image, likeness when all this money's being thrown around.
Couple things that a national regulatory bill law would address that we do also need to talk about. One would be the idea of unionizing athletes, because if some of this stuff isn't addressed, a union is imminent. You could tell by the last Supreme Court regulation, was a couple 3 years ago, in a decision that really opened up college sports. And in California, there was a move afoot for revenue sharing. If you're a college athlete and you're part of a state-supported school, and this state-supported school brings in $60 million, Why not get a share of that? And there are some federal group that say that's a great idea, and others that say it's not. And and if you pass this law, will it overarch any state law? Yes, it will. So there's some things that need to be addressed quicker, or you're going to get a scenario where you're going to have players unionize. And then you start getting into collective bargaining. We start going down a road where you really don't want to be. Then you're in the essence of the problem with professionalizing what we considered amateur sports, which have never been amateur. They've always been collegiate. That's different than amateur, even though they told us it was amateur.
It's starting to feel amateurish, but I don't know if I have a problem with it. It does feel a little semi-pro, as James let us know on YouTube. James Rinaldi, I think that's his last name. But yeah, it does feel a little bit semi-pro.
Well, it's not semi, it is pro. Right. Anybody who's been in it knows there's a 40-hour work week, and your pay is supposedly your education, which in fact now becomes a little bit of money. It is not amateur. It is collegiate. Look at it.
And
very
Jimbo
different.
let us know it's been going on. It's just now it's legal.
Collegiate, not amateur. It was collegiate. And now we can call it what it truly has always been, professional. Coming back, Mike McCarthy has 2 professional cornerbacks, one worth $100 million. After you get paid $100 million, what's next for his stellar cornerback? McCarthy will tell you what he expects, and Diggs will tell us what he expects to improve upon. We're talking quarterbacks on what could be the best defense in all of the NFL, and we'll tell you how they're going to get there next. This is R&R, and you're on 94.1, San Antonio's Sports Star. Hey, man, I'm nicely showered after stepping out of my Connecticut water softened shower this morning. Go to our YouTube channel right now. You'll see it. See, my hair is light and fluffy, and my skin is nice and soft, and anything white you see has remained white because my Connecticut has taken care of that, and I don't even have to worry about that kind of stuff. See, that's what the benefit of having a Connecticut is. You don't have to worry about it. One less thing, right? See, I don't have to worry about buying extra salt because it doesn't use as much as my old one did. I don't have to worry about any extra power bill because it doesn't take 1 iota, not 1 watt of power to run my Connecticut. It runs off, get this, Connecticut Energy. And on top of all that, this thing was designed, manufactured, engineered with South Central Texas in mind. It takes care of what our problems are. All that hard limestone filters out some fine iced tea, water, and beer. But I'll tell you what, the stuff that's left over you don't want in your pipes because it tends to clog them up. All that can be taken care of with a Connecticut water softening system. Now, we know that it's great for you. Sometimes getting into one ain't that easy. Well, I'll tell you what, they've even taken care of that. Right now, if you'll dial 656-PURE, 656-PURE, you can have a Connecticut in your home 90 days free of charge, no commitment at all. It's a show-me deal. You can't get a better one than that. Find out what most of us know in San Antonio, that Connecticut is the only water softener they're ever going to own, and the last one they're going to buy. And that's probably what's going to happen to you on that 91st day. But to find out what we got, you got to call them today, 656-PURE. Go to ConnecticutSA.com for all the details, but call them and get one in your home. And I know when you do, you're going to be thanking me later.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, we're going to talk a little Texans football. The General, John McClain, will join us at 5:15. C.J. Stroud, the starter.
Well, so you said a little Texans football, plus a lot of Cowboys football as they continue training camp out in Oxnard. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
SA Card House is the premier card house in San Antonio. That's right. All of our poker plan listeners tuning in, SA Card House is a must visit. It offers a beautiful atmosphere. It's clean, it's inviting, and it's top-notch customer service for your poker playing pleasure. SA Card House brings a unique and completely new vibe to card houses, offering games for all skill levels, which is why I'm so in love with it, because I'm just a beginner. I go in there and they make me feel welcome, and everybody kind of teaches you the game. And they got games for you professional level poker players. And don't forget about Foster's Bar and Grill. I've had just about everything on the menu, and everything is fantastic. They have 3, 4, maybe 5 different chefs in there, all great food, and I've had the best banana bread pudding that you can possibly ever have. Everything's made from scratch, and of course, the poker playing is top-notch. SA Card House is a private social club, and they're always accepting new memberships. Visit sacardhouse.com for more info. Stop in for a quick drink. Check the space out. That's SA Card House at Bitters and 281.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney and owner of the Thompson Law Firm right here in San Antonio. In the short amount of time I have to talk to you, I want you to remember 2 things. First, if you or a family member is injured in an auto collision, remember, you need to call an attorney as soon as you can after the collision. I don't have enough time to tell you the many, many reasons why, but trust me, The earlier you contact an attorney, the better. Second, when you call is as important as who you call. I want you to call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400. I've been representing people injured in motor vehicle and trucking collisions for 28 years. Each placed their trust in me to do everything it takes to attain a just and fair recovery and to get honest, trustworthy legal advice. You can trust me to do the same for you. If you or a family member has been injured in an auto collision, call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400 or at my website, alawyerforus.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
MVP's bonus days are back at Lowe's. Find special savings on top brands like DeWalt. Right now, save $60 when you buy a DeWalt impact driver or drill for just $99 each. Plus, MVP's Pro Rewards members will earn 3 times the bonus points when shopping the Pro Zone. Shop in-store and online today. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. DeWalt offer valid 7/17 through 8/2. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid through 7/28. Subject to change.
Hold up, you're using Swiffer Power Mop? What would Mom say?
Oh, she'd be like, a mopping bucket is the only way to deep clean your floors. And I'd be like, Mom, this is the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one that gets you a mop and bucket clean in half the time.
She'd never believe you.
I'd say, look, the solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket. And the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get into grout lines. That's why you're the smart one.
Really?
What? Mom said it.
The new Swiffer Power Mop. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
The Apostle Paul writes in a letter to the Ephesians, "Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen." If there is anything human beings need, it is a shot of affirmation daily. The beautiful thing is that it's not all that difficult to do, and there are lots of ways of doing it, from compliments to encouragement. Just as an example, think for a minute of how something like affirmation can and would impact your spouse. When you affirm your spouse, it changes your attitude about them because you focused on something positive. You're looking at their strengths. At the same time, it strengthens those best qualities in them because you have brought them out into the light. Affirmation also affects the way people think about your spouse, from friends all the way down to your children. This is Mark Apsher in the MacArthur Park Church of Christ, hoping you take advantage of opportunities to affirm the people around you. Visit our church online at macarthurchurch.org. The MacArthur Park Church of Christ, connecting God and people.
From the George Salinas Personal Injury Attorney Studios, this is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville. KTFM Floresville. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Dak Prescott picked up right where he left off after that San Francisco playoff game, throwing an interception on the first drive of training camp. But scary moment in Oxnard, his safety Donovan Wilson was carted off with what appears to be a calf strain. And also in great news, John Michie III was cleared for fully participate in training camp after missing the entire season last year for the Texans after being diagnosed with leukemia.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
It's 0600. What's the O stand for? Oh my God, it's early.
Wake me up, wake me up, wake up, wake me up. So wake me up, wake up.
Rob Thompson.
Ginobili the other way in transition to the left hand slam. I want some rest.
Rudy J.
Cowboys win. How else would you settle this game?
Begin each day as if it were on purpose.
I wake up in the morning, I'm just excellent.
R&R in the morning on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, good morning.
It's R&R here on the Star. That's Rudy. I'm Rob. Don't let them brake lights bother you. We'll get you where you're going. Easy E will make sure the drive is pleasant as possible. And this hour, we're giving away some tickets. It's Hot Ticket Thursday. If you are a Pierce the Veil fan.
Who?
Pierce the Veil.
Okay.
Their Jaws of Life tour will be coming to the ESPY on November the 10th, and we got your tickets. Hang on tight. In about 20 minutes, we'll be giving those away. In an hour, we got Thomas Rhett tickets because that's what we do on Thursdays. We do it next Thursday. We'll be live in Oxnard as we head for our annual training camp sojourn on Sunday, all week long, all day, every day. Dallas Cowboy coverage because that's what we do, and it's brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, Texas Cheer Liquor, Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, as always.
Storyline. We always look for this every year with the Cowboys. This is a part of it. It's part of being America's team. We can't just have training camp. No. We can't just have linebacker competition, offensive line depth. What is the storyline? Because this R&R in the morning is storylines over integrity. What would it be for you?
As we come into it, let's see. Prelude to greatness. I don't think the Cowboys in my time have been any closer to a Super Bowl than they are right now. And I'm being real. I'm not saying that they're there. I'm just saying that they're closer than they have been in the last 7 years. There are fewer unanswered questions on this team today than there have been coming into training camp in a long time. A long time.
So then you're saying this is the closest they've been since the 90s?
Since Romo. No, since Romo. They had some good teams in Romo. Dak caught it. Dez caught it.
I'm not going down that.
But I'm just going to say that this team, if you're looking for
in a long time,
the unanswered questions, there just aren't as many. I mean, the offensive line.
So in your eyes, this is a February team.
Yes, this is a February team without hesitation. And if you don't look at it that way, then you're not aiming appropriately. This is a February team, and I'm really interested to see at the training camp, are they acting like champs?
YouTuber James Bennett says, come on, Rob, basically saying, you're crazy. This is the thing. Now, McCarthy in his State of the Cowboys day before yesterday, said they're not going to shy away from the championship word. They're not going to shy away from it. That's what this is about. They're trying to win a title. This is what I'll say. When I look around the team, receiver solid, quarterback solid, running back room solid, DBs, defensive line. Now that you got Mozzie, defensive end, yes, I give them an A in the offseason. You go and get Brandon Cooks, you go and get Gilmore. But my storyline is, can Mike McCarthy be the leader of men, but also make the necessary fine-tuning that needs to be done on the offensive side of the ball? To me, the offensive side of the ball is the storyline. And what is it going to look like with Mike McCarthy calling the plays? Is that going to limit the interceptions? Just what will this offense do? Because, again, that defense on the road held San Francisco to 19 points. Mm-hmm. You are supposed to win that football game. Can Mike McCarthy do what is necessary to get them over the hump? Because it's all on him at this point. So to me, that may be a boring storyline, but that's the storyline.
We're on the same page. They're right there. They are right there.
But isn't every NFL team saying that?
No, the number they're not. Now they're saying it.
Now Zach is on there as well. E. Huey, he is part of the storyline right now.
Oh, absolutely, he is, and we will follow that closely. I mean, the Zach Martin thing, it could collapse this house before we even move in my mind. This really is something that needs to be rectified. Now we got 6 weeks to do it. I'm not feeling like it's all over today, but yeah, the Zach Martin thing will be, as far as storyline goes, that will be a question we ask everybody.
Yeah, and who's getting paid, who's not getting paid. Now, this is one thing also, Rob, and I want you to give me a true answer here. Now, Diggs just got his money.
Yep.
Okay, right? What are your thoughts on Pro Football Focus? What do you think of Pro Football Focus?
I think that the numbers tell a story, not the whole story.
Ooh, see, I like how you answered that question, because we've been together 2 years now, so Rob can kind of see where I'm going, and he knew how to answer that. Because I'm like, hold on now. You just gave Diggs almost $20 million. He's going to eat up $20 million of your cap room every year for the next 5 years, Rob. Yeah. But if we hold Pro Football Focus on this pedestal that we do, they have Stephon Gilmore rated higher than Diggs. If that is the case, what am I letting Diggs eat up $20 million of my cap space for?
What's Diggs in his third year? Fourth year? Going into his third? Fourth.
Come on, Rob. Now, you know you love Pro Football Focus.
I appreciate the numbers added. I do. I'm not
tap dancing.
But no, numbers, classic example.
Okay.
You go to a Pro Football Focus and you see a team. Team X is third in the league in passing. And Team X has thrown for and third in the lead in passing in the fourth quarter even. That they lead that in the league. Only two teams pass for more yards in the fourth quarter. And you go, wow, they're really moving the ball when it counts. And then you go look at their record, and they're like 5-12. Like, well, if it's third in the league in passing in the fourth quarter, you're really moving the ball when it counts. Well, yeah, but we're behind by 21 points in the fourth quarter every game. We got to throw.
They're playing soft.
And we're not having to run the ball. We got to throw. So numbers will tell you a story, just not all the story.
That's fair. And you know what? If I'm the Cowboys, I can, myself, I can go ahead and, nitpick at how much they paid him. But if I'm really holding Pro Football Focus in high regard, like we all do, they got Gilmore at 6 and Trayvon at 8. And so regardless of how we shake it down and we want to talk, about the money and crack jokes about it, according to the Bible,
that's amazing.
They have 2 top 10 corners, which full circle storyline, like, damn, they got better.
They got better on a very good defense already. And I think as we have spent all off season focusing on play calling and offensive structure and offensive coordinator leaving, we've taken for granted the fact that Dan Quinn improved his defense far more than we're giving. I mean, they added run stop. They signed their cornerback. They brought back their safeties. They did everything that they needed to do to maintain. And all we talk about is Pollard going to play under the franchise tag and who's going to be the 5th wide receiver. The fact of the matter is, this isn't puffery. This isn't boasting. This defense should be the best defense in football by any measure you want.
Pump the brakes.
Turnovers.
Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. They shouldn't be better than San Francisco's defense if they get Nick Bosa back in. Come on now.
No, I'm not saying they will be, but they should be. Because I would put Bosa and Micah together in the same boat.
But there's no Fred Warner on this team.
They don't have a Fred Warner, but they got a D-Law, a poor man's Fred Warner. How's that? They stuffing things we can't talk about.
Well, LVE is no Fred Warner.
Whoever we want to define
Whatever you want to go.
I think that there's as much talent on the Cowboys defense as there is in the 49ers defense.
Would you say the same about Philly?
I think Philly actually has lessened. They're not what they were last year.
But they drafted every Georgia Bulldog.
They do have all of that. There's going to be a lot of speed there. And it's not taking away from them to say the Cowboys are going to be there. I just think that when we go dollars to dollars and apples to apples, that this defense bet is the way it's put together is going to be in a situation to not only protect you, but win games. Not only just protect your offense and let the offense, that there'll be a week or 2, 3 or 4, where the defense literally just wins the football game. Offense, for whatever reason, was unable, and the defense is capable of giving you 2 or 3 wins.
And, YouTube chiming in. We want y'all to chime in. Will the loss of DeMeco Ryans affect them? I would say no. I think John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, keep in mind, Robert Saleh was there before DeMeco. They didn't miss a beat. So I don't think they'll miss a beat here either.
Yeah, but again, just like on this Cowboys offense, it's going to hinge a lot on Zach Martin. Bosa is a necessary requirement for that defense to be there. But that'll get
done.
Yeah, that'll happen. That'll happen. But given where all of that, and then you're right. They paid Diggs $100 million, and he's not even the best cornerback on the team.
Well,
by the numbers. But also, can we give Jerry some credit for paying a guy $100 million for what he's going to be? Can we not
That's
expect?
What you're supposed to do.
Right. Can we not expect Trayvon in 3 years in this 5-year deal to stand supreme with Sauce and the other youngsters out there to say we're one of the upper echelon, and this is why we paid him before, because now he's underpaid?
This is what I want to get clear prior to going to training camp in case we talk to Diggs. This isn't on Diggs. If you're a Diggs, you take that money, you say, where's the pen? You say, where's the pen? This ain't on Diggs.
Right.
This, to me, is on the Cowboys. I don't feel like, considering CD's going to get paid, I don't know if it's tomorrow. I don't know if it's at the end of the season. I don't want $45 million in cap space tied up between Diggs and CeeDee Lamb. I just don't. I just look around the landscape of football, and it doesn't look like that's a recipe for winning Super Bowl.
Okay, so
I don't feel that way. I can't. But again, it ain't on Diggs or CeeDee. In case I got to see him face to face, I want y'all, hey, Rudy, won't you tell Diggs what you said? I will.
It's position group, right? I mean, we're talking about position grouping and the value of the group to the team. And running back, the position group, sadly, is decreased.
Mm-hmm.
So in your mind, which room, whether it be wide receiver or cornerback, it has more importance and more money should be spent? Because they already $100 million in on the cornerback room.
When I look at it, when I look at their Achilles heel, I look at the run stopping. So that's where it's going for me. Now they retain Hankins. The defensive line is still there, and then you drafted Mozzie Smith. So maybe they address that on the cheap for now.
I can do it. That I think the wide receiver market's about to get regulated. I think the running backs got regulated. I think the wide receivers are next.
Oh, gosh. Oh, yeah. Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill screwed it up.
Yeah, so I think
no, not them. Miami and the Raiders screwed it up.
They just signed the check. Yeah. They just signed the contract.
Right.
But I do think that if you're concerned about investment and huge money, that those
you have to spend so much anyway somewhere, right? You
right.
spend
But
somewhere.
the Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill, those contracts ain't coming again. Because it's only going to get worse in the short term.
I agree.
Jefferson's going to sign a huge whopper. And all those
Jamar Chase,
all those
CD too.
Bengals.
CD is too. Like
CD's going to get.
They're going to take care. They're going to take care of him to the tune of about 25, 26 a year. Which
do you think it'll be the 100 million,
bro?
That's what I'm saying. Do you think it'll match the Diggs deal with 100 million? I think
sure
it'll be pretty close.
It is. It will be.
But it'll
They're
be
Cowboys.
It'll be a thing that'll be dropping. So I do think you're going to see CeeDee Lamb signed sooner than later, just to save a little bit of money under what's coming with Chase and Jefferson.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
But that's the investment you make.
Yeah, okay. You got a floor. There's so much you have to spend in order to show your fan base you're really trying to win. But it's just when I see the drop off in payment for running backs, I'm like, why are they the only skill position being attacked?
If you weren't paying attention yesterday as practice began, the season began as last year ended, there were interceptions thrown. In fact, on the very first play, we're going to hear from Mike McCarthy in just a second as he talks about getting Dak into the mindset and dealing with the interceptions from last year. But first,
I'm not taking my golf clubs out to Oxnard. I ain't got time. We're going to be working. I like to play my golf where I know I'm going to have a good time, where I know I'm going to have some good customer service, where I know I can get a great meal, where I know I can hit the 10-cup bar, where I know I can go to golfclubtexas.com, enter Rudy J, and get 25% off. Yes, that is right. That is the Golf Club of Texas. Lee Trevino design link style course. Fantastic staff, fantastic greenskeepers, fantastic GM that puts together some of the best events that you have seen out at a golf course. It is not a country club. Okay, you come out there and have a good time, but it does have that country club feel. Don't forget, every Friday night they got live music, one of the best fireworks extravaganzas I've ever seen in my life. But right now we're focused on the golf because they focused on the greens, they focus on the fairways, and they're in fantastic shape. Go to their Instagram, go to their Facebook, and look at the videos. No filters. That course is in fantastic shape. GolfClubTexas.com. Enter promo code Rudy J. As a friend, I'm trying to keep some money in your pocket and get you play some golf and let you get some good food and let you have some good drinks. And they even got cigars for sale at the counter. That's the Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Mike McCarthy yesterday talked about his quarterback and the brand new relationship that will be, as he will not only be coaching him, but he'll be calling the plays and in his ear all game long. He said it was no big deal talking about interceptions with Dak. Well, maybe not such a small deal anyway. Listen to this.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I could go back and show you Alex Van Pelt's interception report from 1989. It's always been done the same way. I mean, you get your season's over, you evaluate you really get the negative stuff out of the way. So when you are able to get together, you address them. And to me, that's always been the basics of coaching a quarterback. I mean, that's just the way I learned it. That's the way I've always done it. So understand the mono conversation around it. But I really don't look at, his particular performance any different than any other year. I'm well aware of the numbers. But, we're going to evaluate every throw in season, when it happens, in practice, when it happens. And so it's a daily evaluation process. And, and I think we all understand that we may look at it a little differently than others look at it. And that's part of it. It's part of our business and playing under a microscope. But, I'm very comfortable with that. I mean, he didn't like it. Not necessarily he didn't like it, but we talked about it the other day, and it just said, hey, there's going to be a time where, he's going to maybe, throw 2 interceptions early in the game. And that's going to be a great moment for us to learn from, because that diversity is coming. You don't compete in this league and not have adversity on and off the field. It's not realistic. And so that's part of the everyday grind as a quarterback. You have to have moments that you just continue to play and don't let it affect you. And then as a play caller, I have to stay aggressive and things like that. Exceptions postseason, they're really a great opportunity to learn from. So, and that's just the way I've always done it. That's the way it's always been broken down. So, and it was no different this year.
Great teams are comfortable with uncomfortable conversations. The only way you're going to get over the hump is when Micah comes up to D-Law and says, you're playing selfish. And D-Law says, attitude reflect leadership. And they scream and they yell and they're pushing, they shoving on each other. And then that's what they go out there and they make plays. And Dak Prescott gets in CD Lamb's face and tells me he ran the wrong damn route. And CD says, no, that was a horrible ass throw. Mike McCarthy comes over there and tells Dak, no, that's on you. And they scream and cut. There has to be that. There has to be that. Now, I'm not saying it has to be on Fox or on CBS where the world can see, but at some point, great teams all have that turmoil where because they're holding each other accountable and it matters and they care. And Mike McCarthy saying, we're going to address interceptions. They're no longer going to be talking about and you know what? The fact of the matter is, and that we do this because of the position. They get paid the most, so they get the most scrutiny. But you're going to have these conversations with the entire team, Rob. So we're focusing on Dak, but we're going to have this conversation with Mozzie. We're going to have these conversations with Curse. But if you're going to get over the hump, you got to be able to hold guys accountable. And I think that's the step Mike McCarthy's ready to make. And he told us that last year. Remember they had something like a little brouhaha last season? Like, yeah, guys got a little heated.
Accountability.
You need that. You got to have that.
Yeah, you preach it. We all preach accountability.
But what?
But, some people are more equal than others.
Right.
I do think that there's something to this, though. And I do think that Dak has been treated with kid gloves.
Oh my God, by the fans, by the team, everybody.
Because of how he did it. You're a 4th stringer and suddenly you lead us to 13-3 and everything works great. And so don't fix what's not broken. And then you see this steady decline, some of it due to injuries, a broken leg, some of it due to COVID and transitional players and things and all that. And we've given him the breaks and the benefit of the doubt over and over and over. And now I think McCarthy's been here long enough to say, you know what, I know exactly what I got here, and I know who you are. You might not know who you are, but I do. And there are things that you're not good at that we're going to have to work on. And you're going to have to be accountable for it. And I don't think his best friend, Kellen Moore, ever did.
No. He was a good cop.
Yeah.
He was the buffer. Sometimes you have a buffer, and, Mike's like, hey, man, you go tell Jack, and Kellen goes over there, hey, man, and he goes over there and delivers it different. I'm the good cop in my house. My wife hates it. And I get a text. You need to come down on her. She's doing this, she's doing that. I'm tired of telling her she's not listening to me anymore, and you need to be on the same page with me. Same thing that was going on in that locker room for the last few years. Kellen's over there delivering it like, hey, man, that was a great read. I understand what you were doing. I got it. I saw what you saw. Let's just get rid of it a little bit quicker. Pat him on the butt. Get back out there. Get up there. And I'm not saying, again, this isn't screaming and cussing. These are men, and you have to treat them like men.
I wonder how much.
But accountability is different than, screaming and cussing for no reason.
And while you mentioned don't be Saban and don't be Jimbo,
you don't have to do that.
Well, I do think at some point there's going to be that. And, you're going to have to transition from lighting up your player to having him calm down in the huddle and call a play.
Right.
We're going to talk more about that, but I want to give away some tickets.
Let's do it.
It's Hot Ticket Thursday. Be the ninth caller at 210-656-ESPN. And you could be on your way. The hottest tickets to the hottest events. Ninth caller wins.
The band is Pierce the Veil. They're coming with the Jaws of Life tour, and they're going to be playing at the ESPY. All those are words I've never used in the same sentence before.
Rob, it's like, let's go with Pierce the Veil.
Pierce the Veil is pretty awesome,
how
right?
do you come up with that name? What are you taking or drinking or sniffing when you say, yeah, man?
They're piercing the veil
Like,
of secrecy.
how? What?
Hey, man, that's a rock and roll, baby. Take it where it never been before. Like the ESPY Center and free tickets, 656-3776. Use that device in the way it was originally intended. Win yourself some tickets. Real quick, I do want to hear from the coach. I know we're up against it, but he did talk about this brand new Texas Coast offense and how they are bringing this together. Let's play number 4, Edwin.
I would not say we're moving away from we're not moving away from anything that we've done in the past, because it's our foundation, and I mean, you go back to the first day when I arrived here, it was important. So, concepts are always, you're trying to grow. Every concept has a history, and the scheme design, in my view, always fits into a family. It's important to keep growing those families and have variations of it. So, we really, our approach is to build off of what we've established, as an offense. But I think you clearly got to recognize that, I said the 30%, the 30% number I was really focused on was language, because language is such a big part of this. And if I have to learn new words, which I've had since I've been here, and the crazy part is the same word means the totally opposite about 50 different times. So I still screw it up once in a while, but that's such a big part. But the concepts are the concepts. The schemes are the schemes. We put a tremendous amount of time in detail in the concepts as we've added the wrinkles that you have to add. You have to protect your base concepts every year and give it variation and definition, and that comes into details. And that's really where I think our players and coaches have done a really good job, in the off season, because we talked about learning it, through phase 1 and through phase 2. Then we talked about detailing it in phase 3, and I feel like we accomplished it. Now we got to go practice and perfect it. So
McCarthy yesterday.
Yeah. So he's not Bill Callahan, who famously took over the Raiders after John Gruden left, went and played John Gruden in the Super Bowl, and kept the same language in Tampa Bay, knew every play that was coming, and blew the Raiders out of the water.
They didn't expect to have to play them. The one team that knew your plays, you play in the Super Bowl.
But once you find out 2 weeks before, Rob, that you play in Tampa, we might want to change the language, bro. So at least McCarthy got that down. McCarthy knows, hey, we got to change the language a little bit.
Do you think he regrets that 30% statement?
Yes, because people like you and me won't let it go.
No, because that's what you told us.
Right.
Did you lie? Were you lying then, or are you lying now?
You said the thing when I said about that 30%, because you and I, we've jumped it up to 35.
40. It might even be 50 by the end of next week, as your Dallas Cowboy training camp coverage will come to you live from beautiful downtown Oxnard, California. Coming up next, the most powerful man in college football today. He'll be front and center. The Colorado Buffaloes got an announcement to make. We'll tell you what that's going to be next. This is R&R. You're on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's 1,400 miles to training camp. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Beginning Monday, the guys are on the road again. This time, San Antonio Sports Star travels to Cowboys training camp in Oxnard, California.
Deep down the right side. Oh, it's caught.
With the full support of AA Best Bail Bonds, providing complete backup for any of those things that happen while on the road. Nobody provides better coverage of training camp than 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Left side of the end zone. Touchdown.
We'll hear from the players, coaches, be right in the middle of the media frenzy, and of course, hear from owner Jerry Jones.
We get to suck on that all week.
It's Cowboys training camp, live from Oxnard, California. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, Texas Cheer Liquor, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, and sasportstar.com.
Don't give in to that constant joint pain. Take control. Take back your quality of life today with help from QC Kinetics. Hey, it's James Pledger with 941 San Antonio Sports Star, and QC Kinetics is helping people every day here and across the country with their amazing non-surgical treatments that repair and restore damaged joint tissue. They use the latest advances in regenerative medicine, taking your own body's healing agents and concentrating them right in the area where you have agonizing pain. This incredible non-invasive approach helps you take control of your body, relieving the pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, and back. No invasive surgery, no harmful drugs or steroids, and best of all, no downtime. Listen, summertime needs to be about having fun, making memories, whether it's golfing, hiking, skiing, enjoying the outdoors. Take control now and start living life pain-free again. Call now for your free consultation with QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318. Locations in Hollywood Park, Westover Hills, and New Braunfels.
What could be more perfect than the perfect ratio of sizzling sausage to freshly cracked egg to melty cheese, sandwiched together in a perfectly toasted McDonald's McMuffin? If we added jalapenos to spice things up.
For a limited time only, grab the new cheesy jalapeno sausage McMuffin with egg paired with a refreshing iced coffee. Order in the app to earn free food. At participating McDonald's, must opt into rewards.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Texas, the Mega Millions jackpot is over $900 million, and you can now buy official Texas lottery tickets right from your phone with jackpot.com. Go to jackpot.com, choose your lottery game, pick your lucky numbers, and get your winnings instantly. Plus, get a free ticket with your first play. Get in on the action. Go to jackpot.com and buy lottery tickets on your phone. Go to jackpot.com. That's jackpot.com. Jackpot.com. Paid for by jackpot.com. You must be 18 or older to order a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney and owner of the Thompson Law Firm right here in San Antonio. In the short amount of time I have to talk to you, I want you to remember two things. First, if you or a family member is injured in an auto collision, remember, you need to call an attorney as soon as you can after the collision. I don't have enough time to tell you the many, many reasons why, but trust me, the earlier you contact an attorney, the better. Second, when you call is as important as who you call. I want you to call me, Jason Thompson, at 210-900-0400. I've been representing people injured in motor vehicle and trucking collisions for 28 years. Each place their trust in me to do everything it takes to attain a just and fair recovery and to get honest, trustworthy legal advice. You can trust me to do the same for you. If you or a family member has been injured in an auto collision, call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 210-900-0400 or at my website, alawyerforus.com.
Attention heavy equipment mechanics, San Antonio is hiring. The starting pay $22.67 an hour, plus incentives, benefits, and advancement opportunities. There's a job fair Saturday, July 29th at 6927 West Commerce, and you can apply on the spot. Stop by Saturday, July 29th, 9 a.m. till noon, 6927 West Commerce. Complete information is at sarecycles.org. Mechanics needed, so visit sarecycles.org.
Cowboys play here. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
What is this? Is this Kiss the Veil?
No.
Raise the Veil. What is their name?
Rest in peace.
Is this Thomas Rhett? Oh, this is Sinead O'Connor. Rest in
Sinead
peace.
O'Connor.
Now, see, this isn't the one I know. I know Sinead O'Connor. God bless the dead. It's unfortunate. I saw that last night. Hopefully, thoughts and prayers to her and her family and friends. But this wasn't one of the ones I knew.
Sandacano.
Huh?
Or what?
It's called Mandika. This is Mandika. You know her from nothing.
With that word.
Mandika? Maybe. I need to think about the permutations there. Nothing compares to you is the one you probably remember.
Nothing compares.
She was
man, we're dropping like flies. I'm getting old because a lot of my people.
She's 56.
That's young.
Yeah.
To me, that's young.
She was the first, really, to
with the short hair. She did the short hair first.
She tore up the picture of the Pope. Ooh. She performed on Saturday Night Live in the early 90s. And it was really kind of ended her career because she was the first to call out what eventually became the worldwide story regarding priests and sexual abuse amongst their kids. And she did this in 92.
And
a
now,
decade before we were really talking about it.
Talk about took stones.
Oh man, it ended it. But I told Edwin to look it up.
That song,
just because I wanted the young man to hear.
He doesn't know who Sinead O'Connor was.
No, she had real short hair.
Rest in peace.
Yesterday afternoon, the news story started to break coming out of Boulder that there's going to be an emergency meeting of the Board of Regents for the University of Colorado today, and the expectation is they are going to exit the Big 12 or exit the Pac-12 and apply for admission into the Big 12 as soon as possible. Deion's transition will be complete as he has arrived in Colorado just about 8 months ago, and now
with his Louis
has already got them in a bigger, better conference.
It is better.
Oh, yeah.
Look, the Pac-12, as we know it, is pretty much over. USC, when USC left, to me, it kind of felt like it was the beginning of the end, and then UCLA follows. Of course, we know what they bring basketball-wise. And now, you feel like, okay, well, yeah, we did lose them, but we got our B12 shot in what is Coach Prime. And now he's on his way out after he's going to play there for one season. Now, this is what I want to ask you. I have a bet with the guy. And I took the over. I didn't name him. Nobody knows him. I got Deion going 6-6 in his first season.
I think that's fair.
And but my buddy was like, "There's no way in hell." Brand new team, brand new players, all got blah blah blah. All the things that he's up against, the schedule, all those things. He's like, "There's no," and he's like, first of all, he's like, "There's no shame in it," but he doesn't have Deion going 6-6. I think Deion splits the schedule. You got TCU.
Which they're going to get pantsed by TCU, by the way. Pantsed.
Relax.
Oh, I'm telling
Relax.
You. Dyke said this team practicing for Deion since April. Let me tell you, they're going to pants him.
What is Duggan or Dugan there anymore?
No, he's long gone.
He's gone. No. They lost a bunch of people, Rob.
Yeah, I assure you.
Let me pick. Let me find 6 losses. Okay, Utah, USC.
Man, I see 6 in the first 8 games. Man, it ain't gonna be easy. This was
so then you take the under.
Well, I think 6 is fair because I do think that there's something to the guys that he did bring in. But these guys they barely even know each other, and they're not deep. I mean, they're gonna go one deep with some talent, but one hangnail, one strained calf, and suddenly your left tackle's out, and ain't nobody coming to fill, and things get ugly. No matter how much young new talent you got, you got to have depth.
I got them going 6-6.
I think that's fair. I do.
If the over is 5, I'm taking them at 6.
But this is not an easy schedule that he's got.
Nebraska, meh. Colorado State, meh. Oregon, USC, those are losses. I don't know who the hell Arizona State is. I don't know who the hell Stanford and UCLA are.
Those are the wins.
Oh,
those I think you just pointed out the wins.
I can see 6, but pants TCU.
I think TCU is going to roll in and try to make a statement. Like, you want to come down here? Welcome aboard.
Well, that game is in Fort Worth?
It's in Fort Worth, and that is prime. When I talk about prime, no pun intended, recruiting territory for Deion. He's going to hit Dallas hard. Especially now that they'll be coming into Texas twice a year, 3 times a year when you're dealing with TCU, Baylor, and
you scared, Rob? If you scared, get a dog.
You know what? I think that there's reason to be concerned if I'm a Big 12 coach because, again, he's going to get guys that you want.
Coach Traylor, too, because that 3-star, 3.5-star guy that's lingering around that Traylor's been known to get, maybe that guy goes to play for Deion now because Deion tries to – I mean, he ain't no Traylor. Traylor's, tree, per se, as far as high school coaches goes, is like an oak tree. But he's in Texas now. Deion is on his way to Texas. That's how I see this. I don't see this as Big 12. I see Deion is on his way to the recruiting grounds of the great state of Texas.
Well, Paul Feinbaum, the preacher, the proudest SEC guy we know,
right,
has some thoughts about prime.
This could be seismic, and I don't want to trash the Pac-12 any more than we already have, but you might as well just give them last rites if they lose Colorado, because right now Colorado has Deion, one of the most important names in college sports, and if they end up leaving, what are they going to do out there?
Collapse upon themselves. No, Pac-12 will survive, just not the way we think of them.
You say that. For me, man, it's one of those things that you've taught me also. Fail fast. Like, why are we holding on to this? Why not say, hey, man, why, if you're the Pac-12 commission, you can't get a TV deal. You're about to lose 3 schools. At what point do you say, hey, man, everybody start looking for jobs? We're going to shut things down.
Well, I think that's a question probably better asked to ADs and college presidents than the commissioner, because his one and only job is hold this thing together.
True.
But if you're Arizona, you're the president of Arizona or Arizona State or Utah or name Oregon State, whichever school, at some point you have to look at it like, at what point are we going to stop holding on and just go fend for ourselves?
Right. Okay. So give me 3 schools. Okay. So I think we can all agree here. There's Oregon, there is Stanford, and Utah. I think those are the 3 most important schools in the Pac-12 right now.
Yeah.
Now that with the landscape going forward. So if I'm those 3, I'm trying to get out, right? Or am I going to sit back and say, hey, you know what? Why not stick here and just dominate?
Well, I think Stanford's safe. No matter what happens,
Stanford's
going to be
their hat
Stanford.
on athletics. They go to class.
And they're going to get the smartest, best athletes. That's not going to go anywhere. And, whether it's in the Pac-12, whatever, Stanford will continue to be that. Oregon has themselves in the mirror. I think Oregon is a team that if they really wanted to do something, they've got Nike
Look
money
in the mirror
forever.
and say, what are you saying that they should be looking in the mirror and saying to themselves?
That they probably, just because they have Nike money, can't exist on their own and be what they've been in the Pac-12. That they might think that they can because of the picturesque ability and the way that they can recruit nationally, but they could recruit nationally because, 1, they got some TV exposure because the conference was adequate, and 2, the Nike affiliation. And so I think if they looked at themselves in the mirror and go, you know what, we've already recruited nationally. We're capable of playing someplace else, but this Nike ain't enough to keep us in that upper echelon that we believe ourselves to be. We probably need to go.
Do you want the Arizonas? If you're Brett Yormark, who's marketing extraordinaire, I think he's doing despite what's going on, I think he's doing a masterful job being the commissioner of the Big 12, the games in Mexico and all these other things. He's ideas. He was brought in to be an idea guy and market this and figure it out. He's doing that. But if you're Yormark, do you want the Arizonas?
I want Phoenix. I want all those houses, all those rooftops in Phoenix. I want all of them. And I want Tucson too. There's a lot of money down there, my brother, and a lot of alumni from all these schools went and retired down there to play golf. I want the rooftops, and I also want the ready access to all that California talent. Dude, it is that to me.
That's the only thing that you told me that I'm buying is the California connection.
Well, that's a lot of rooftops, man. That's a lot of TVs and devices.
Why do I need Cali though, Rob? Why do I need Arizonas to get to the Calis?
Because I'm not going to get LA. Those guys are gone. I'm not going to get that market. If there's any college football market, the Big 12 has 0 access to that. So they're not going to get LA. The San Francisco TV market, you could say we want it, and you could probably get it if you decided to invite Stanford in, but I'm not sure Stanford wants to go there. But I can go get Phoenix, and I can add 20 million TVs and devices by adding 2 of them.
I guess I got to get my college sports weight up because I never wake up thinking about wanting to watch Arizona or Arizona State.
Not
in
now.
any sport.
No, well, basketball, it certainly does help. But no, you're exactly right, because those guys are leaving Arizona right now. The good talent is leaving Arizona. Bijan was from Arizona, went to Texas.
Right.
And I can name several others that are Arizona types that left. They're used to leaving and they're used to coming to Texas. If I'm the Big 12, but man, it would be very difficult for me to turn them down.
I'm going after Utah, right? Because I have BYU. It just makes sense.
And Utah, though, has a more advanced football program right now.
Yes.
I think that's an established program that has enough talent right now to step in and compete in the Big 12, where I don't think Arizona and Arizona State do.
That's me being Brett Yormark making sense. If I'm Brett Yormark wanting splash, even though geographically it's weird, I call the Ducks. Geographically it's weird, but if I'm looking splash and to do something sexy, Rob, I'm calling Phil Knight. If I'm doing what makes sense, I go after Utah.
And Oregon, I think, could afford that. And the distance from Utah to Provo to wherever you're flying ain't that much different from Oregon. I don't think it's
okay.
From where is that? Where do they play in Oregon? Is it Beaverton or whatever? Wherever the University of Oregon. Oh, Eugene. From Eugene.
Is Eugene.
But consider if you did add Oregon, the guys in West Virginia go, oh my God, are you kidding me? I got to travel to Oregon with all of these other teams once a year. That's a long flight.
I forgot to mention, I'd be leaving West Virginia at the rest stop. I'd be leaving West Virginia at the truck stop. I forgot. I didn't mention that? What? That never made sense to me. Like, okay, then you know what? That just helped my case more. If I'm for Oregon, like we have West Virginia.
We're already in it.
Which never made sense to me.
Yeah, you're already in it. They are already in it. And keep in mind, we talk about that extra because once you add Colorado, they're going to have 13 teams.
Right.
Now, there is one more thing.
Okay.
The idea of the addition of Gonzaga and UConn. Now, they've talked about them for basketball, and that really doesn't have a lot of sway into this, but it kind of does when you're talking about the kind of programs you're going to bring in and the basketball.
Right. That'd be a hell of a basketball card. It already is.
Yeah. You had UConn, Gonzaga, and Colorado. Tad Boyle's got a good program. I mean, they are consistently competitive.
Fair.
Big 12, Big 14. Things are changing.
And when are these teams going to start? When are these conferences going to start changing their name? Like, just go, like Southeastern Conference, go Northeastern Conference, go Southwestern Conference. Like, it doesn't make sense to keep the 12s and the 10s.
It's funny. You never want to. Right. And first, you didn't want to be directional. You didn't want to be East Texas. You didn't want to be that. You wanted to be the school.
Right.
And then there was the double direction, like Southwest Texas. They're like, we don't want to be double direction. We'll just be Texas State.
Don't make sense.
But conferences don't seem to mind. Southeast.
Yeah, Big 10, although there's 16 teams. Like, that's dumb.
One other thing that you need to be paying attention to for you college sports fans is what's going on in D.C. as there's a variety of bills being produced both in Congress regarding the regulation of college sports, specifically the NIL and the transfer portal. A couple of them that seem to have some traction would include 3 years commitment without the ability to use a transfer portal.
So
and when you do use it,
junior,
yeah, and then if you did use it prior to that, there would be a layout year, essentially what was previous, and a lot of talk about the transparency of the funding behind the NIL and all the money that's going individually from companies and sponsors to players, and also these consortiums. Maybe some transparency as to the origins of this money might be in order.
See, I don't really like that. That's like, Rob, like, I found out, with Express News comes out and says Rob Thompson's worth $13 million. I don't have the right to know where you got your 13, even though you just do sports talk radio. I know you didn't get it from here. I don't have the right to be like, hey, Rob, where are you getting the rest of your money from?
No, you don't. For me, I'm a private citizen, but we're talking about state schools. We're talking about.
So that gives you the right to know where I'm getting paid from?
Well, I know how much every NFL player is getting paid and where the money's coming from. They tell me ahead of time. I know exactly to the penny. I know when you're going to get paid. I know your payday and how much each one of your paychecks is. I know that for every NFL player. I mean, if you're going to act like and want to be treated like a pro, both in the college world and as a college athlete, you know what? Maybe
that doesn't sit right with my spirit. It don't sit right with my spirit. Like, okay, I need to know that you're getting this from Valvoline and how much it is to the dollar.
Well, we need to know how much Trayvon Diggs is going to get paid to the dollar. I mean,
and I bet you Trayvon Diggs wish he could be anonymous the way his phone's ringing today.
Well, I imagine so. I imagine given that situation, it'll be tough.
But Rob, they're kids.
They are kids.
And they're student athletes.
And the pendulum has swung. And I do think that the coaches have made such an uproar here that
there was a lot of crying going on
about the transfer portal. That's imminent to get fixed. Now, fixed is how you define it. But I don't think that the idea of your arrival and immediate exit is going to stay. I think that they're going to require a minimum of a 1 year. You get here, you can't leave for a year. And if you do, you're sitting out. Now, I don't think they're going to be able to hold on to 3.
Now, can I put a asterisk mark at the bottom of that bylaw that says if the coach leaves, I can?
Well, I would think.
Can I do that?
That's the kind of thing that we would appreciate in a federal bill, where you build things into that we're all going to be held to.
Okay, cool.
You know what I mean?
As long as if you say, hey, you know what, it's all bets off if the coach gets fired or he leaves.
Would you like to see in the future collective bargaining amongst college athletes and the grand college, the NCAA, where every player will receive the same minimum standard of something, whether that be 8 years of college, $100,000 in cash, whatever it is, where every player knows whether I'm signing at Bo Diddley Tech or OU, I'm getting X at the minimum.
I don't want that.
You don't want that?
No.
Why?
Because that's not how, going off, that's not how life works.
Well, why not? It should. I'm supplying you a lot of effort for a lot of money at the very minute. Maybe we should regulate that every player gets mandatory health care for 8 years after college.
That kind of stuff.
I'm talking about the bare minimum stuff that are negotiated
I'm
through
cool with that.
collective bargaining.
I thought you meant like all the same amount of pay.
No. There's a bare minimum. Like every college athlete should have the right to expect. If I played football for 4 years and we know that football degrades my body, 8 years later, you guys are still paying for my injuries.
Absolutely.
A workman's comp kind of law. Okay. There's a bare minimum. If I play at a university or a conference that has X amount of dollars, I should get a percentage of that no matter what. The collectively bargained group idea. Do you like that idea? Because if this is not regulated the way we see Congress going, that will be the next step. There will be a state out there, Northwestern, the school that's got a whole lot of other issues right now.
Right.
A bunch of players tried to unionize there in Illinois not long ago, and that was shot down. It has been posed in California to allow them to do that and offer revenue sharing on top of that. So if we allow California to do that, how can Texas compete if you can go get revenue sharing and everything else in California? So
see, Rob, that's a slippery slope there, my brother, because that's how we operate in this country. Texas, 2020, 3 weeks, wide open. California, shut down 2 years. That's how we've always operated, as every state gets to pick how they want to handle their own things. At Texas high school football, no NIL. Right. But up in Ohio or somewhere else, or Cali, you can get NIL money in high school. So I don't want to have a all across the board governing body. I like states being able to operate under their own premise. That's just me.
Let's listen to Bob Stoops and his thoughts on the NIL and current college football and its state. I'm not sure if it's tongue in cheek or he's being real here.
Or we need to let's quit calling it college football and call it a pro model. If we're not going to get some guardrails and some kind of governance and some kind of rules to it all. Otherwise, it's a pro model. And now all teams need to hire a GM. You need to start thinking differently and go to a pro model. Maybe then we need a college football commissioner and some people who can put some kind of regulation. The NFL has regulations, right? Salary caps and this, that, and the other thing. And right now they have more regulation than college football does. So again, if we're not going to do it, then let's go to a pro model and begin there.
This is a guy who has coached in a relatively professional model at Oklahoma, right. And coached pros.
Pro, I use that term.
Well, I mean, as close as you can. This guy looks at it and goes, if I was coaching in college football, I would have a GM who would be the guy that's behind the talent acquisition, and I would have a salary cap guru. I'd have a guy that's in control of that, and most of the big schools now have an entire department set aside for NIL guidance and protection. I would treat this, and on top of that, I would have to find somebody with the authority to offer punishment with some teeth, and that would be the commissioner, however you want to call it, of either the conference or the entirety of the league. Far more teeth involved with punishment than the NCAA ever had before. If you want to treat it like a pro, and like the commissioner in the NFL, he can tell you you can't play. You're suspended. You're fined.
See, this whole salary cap thing, well, the NFL have GMs, the NFL has salary caps. That goes back to that would be the NCAA trying to even the playing field, which you're never going to even the playing field regardless.
We've been doing that.
We were already operating under the same rules as far as before there was no NIL, whatever. Big Dog still ate more. There were still the big guys on campus. There was still it was still Bama, it was still LSU, it was still USC. So it's never going to be fair. So why do we need a salary cap, Bob Stoops? For what? That's trying to even the playing field. The playing field's never been even. Why are we acting like NIL uneven the playing field? It was already that way.
I'm with you about 60% of that. I think about 60% of what you're saying is true, but I do think it has leveled the playing field. It has, but it's dropped off. Those that were never going to catch up, they're long gone. But those that were close, they've been raised up. The playing field's been brought to them. I mean, there's a lot. I think UTSA is one that has been elevated because of this. There's other schools that have been left behind. I mean, UTSA right now sits in a much better position than Sam Houston State does.
Oh, gosh.
You know what I mean? And Sam Houston isn't going to be relatively where they are. And UTSA obviously has aspirations to go a little bit different way. And they have the ability to do it now when they never did before, because suddenly we can offer these players a little bit of scratch, stay home and come and do some stuff. So I think that it did bring the playing field a little bit more even, but it did cut the chaff away. There's some that are never going to be what they thought they might want to be at, just 5 years ago.
Right.
We're going to come back in the 9 o'clock, talk a lot about the NBA as the latest power rankings are in after most of the offseason free agency and drafts are done. And the Wemby lover, we got effect might not be as big as you think. T-Mac will tell you why that's the case. And we got a brand new two-way player that certainly did earn his money. We'll tell you who that is next. This is R&R. We're talking Spurs here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Tomorrow is Friday, so that means that the Blitz is headed out to Texas Cheer Liquor number 5 out there in Bernie and the Cordier Ranch. Why are they going back out to number 5? Weren't they just there in June? Yes, they were, but the Horse Soldier bourbon tasting and bottle signing is going to be going down from 4 to 7. The Blitz will be there from 2 to 6. Will Summers and Steve Coffrin, 2 of the 12 guys that rode into Afghanistan on horseback following the 9/11 attacks. True American heroes, going to be out of Texas Cheer Liquor number 5. You want to get some of their Horse Soldier bourbon. There's 3 different kinds. Head out there tomorrow from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Get that bottle signed. It's Texas Cheer Liquor number 5, 12 Trust Drive in Bernie, 78006. Go out there. One, you get to see Jason and Joe. Maybe Joe runs back the pink shorts. Who knows? Those guys are going to be in a fantastic mood because it's going to be the last Friday before you see us out in Oxnard. Going to be a great time at Texas Cheer Liquor number 5 tomorrow. I'll be out there. Will Summers and Steve Coffin will be out there. It's going to be a really, really good time. Come out there and get your bourbon tasting and get that bottle signed. That's Texas Cheer Liquor number 5. It's not just cheers. It's Texas Cheer.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, we're going to talk a little Texans football. The General, John McClain, will join us at 5:15. C.J. Stroud, the starter.
Well, so you said a little Texans football, plus a lot of Cowboys football as they continue training camp out in Oxnard. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Gomez Law Firm has been taking care of the people of San Antonio for almost 50 years, the leader in personal injury law. Jose, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
We do ride-sharing cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
We've been around for almost 50 years, and we're not going anywhere.
Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
At Fisher Investments, our clients know we have their backs.
How do your clients know that?
Because Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, the highest standard for a financial advisor. It means we're there for our clients and always put their interests first.
So wait, you do it because you have to?
No, we do it because it's the right thing to do. Our clients trust us with their retirement savings, and we know how important that responsibility is. So we take the time to really get to know them.
Get to know them how?
We make sure we understand their unique goals, finances, health, family, and lifestyle, so we can tailor their portfolio to their specific needs. Our goal is to help them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Sounds like a big responsibility. You must make big commissions then, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We have one single transparent fee that's structured so we do better when our clients do better. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you are switching to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Don't give in to that constant joint pain. Take control. Take back your quality of life today with help from QC Kinetics. Hey, it's James Pledger with 941 San Antonio Sports Star, and QC Kinetics is helping people every day here and across the country with their amazing non-surgical treatments that repair and restore damaged joint tissue. They use the latest advances in regenerative medicine, taking your own body's healing agents and concentrating them right in the area where you have agonizing pain. This incredible non-invasive approach helps you take control of your body, relieving the pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, and back. No invasive surgery, no harmful drugs or steroids, and best of all, no downtime. Listen, summertime needs to be about having fun, making memories, whether it's golfing, hiking, skiing, enjoying the outdoors. Take control now and start living life pain-free again. Call now for your free consultation with QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318. Locations in Hollywood Park, Westover Hills, and New Braunfels.
From the George Salinas Personal Injury Attorney Studios, this is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville. KTFM Floresville. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Dak Prescott picked up right where he left off, throwing an interception in the first training camp scrimmage yesterday. Hope that's not things to come. Also, Texans wide receiver John Metchie III was cleared to fully participate in training camp after he missed the entire last season after being diagnosed with leukemia. And T-Mac Wemby says he's seen this hype before, compares him to Bobo. We talk about it next.
Sports Center is brought to you by BraintreeNutrition.com. Better sleep, more focus. BraintreeNutrition.com.
It's 0600. What's the O stand for? Oh my God, it's early.
Wake me up, wake me up, wake up, wake up, wake me up. So wake me up, wake up.
Rob Thompson.
Ginobili the other way in transition to the left hand slam. I want some nasty.
Rudy J.
Cowboys win. How else would you settle this game?
Begin each day as if it were on purpose.
I wake up in the morning, I piss excellent.
R&R in the morning on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, good morning.
It's R&R here on the Star. Rudy J and Rob Thompson. Thanks for hanging with us. Hope you're watching us. Go to our YouTube feed and be prepared for an avalanche, a waterfall. What other simile can I come up with?
Plenty
as we prepare for our Dallas Cowboy sojourn, as we do every year. We're headed to training camp. We're taking you with us. You'll wake up Monday morning with us describing the tennis courts and all around as we're heading there, and hang with us all weekend long. Make sure you're following us on all the socials. You know, yesterday we had a long meeting about, each one of our responsibilities. I've got video writing a little bit. You got more video than I do. Thank God.
I suck at writing.
I'm suck at the video. We didn't mention threads. Is anybody responsible on the thread account?
I think Ryan and Ernie got it. They got it kept. They got it covered.
We were talking Insta,
all we do is
TikTok and Facebook and X.
My goal. We're gonna do some TikToking. Me, you, Jason.
That's not
Joe.
the one where I'm like,
see, that's the problem. That's the problem with us old folks. We think TikTok is just a bunch of dancing. It's not. There's plenty of other things.
When
on
I'm
TikTok.
involved, it's a bunch of dancing. I'm just,
Yeah, Minix almost pee-peed on himself when they brought up TikTok. And Minix is a social media guy, but he's like, I don't have
I don't even have that.
Minix, just bring the damn Southern recipe pork rinds, sir.
Oh, we'll have a table full of that.
I need a box. I'm the one that needs the no carb. I need the low carb snacks, not you, Jason.
In 30 minutes, we're going to talk about it. But did you know the Cowboys are only going to practice in pads 9 times in camp?
See, and you know what, Rob? It's been a discussion. It's nothing new. Again, there's nothing new under the sun, but it does affect teams to start the season. It does.
I
now
believe it.
Of course, someone has to win the game, right? But early on, the football is a little bit ugly because of safety and because there's certain rules that you have to abide by. And keep in mind, McCarthy has been fined two times for practicing a little bit too hard. There's a snitch. Every team has a snitch.
Union rep snitch.
Yeah,
Same
every
thing.
team has a union rep snitch, and the Cowboys has been hard at work over the past couple of seasons. So,
$50,000, Mike.
yeah, when you tell me they're only going to practice and pass 9 times, I get it. And that's why NFL football starts off kind of ugly, because you haven't had that physicality.
Have we heard from Victor Wembanyama lately? Is he
It's a
taking
day that ends in Y. We always talk
have we
Wemby.
heard from him?
No,
Do we know
remember
where he is?
He said he was going away. Remember? He was like, I'm about to check out. I'm not going to be around anybody. I'm going to ask the Spurs where I can go, which is crazy. And I'm going to disappear for a while.
Well, as that is done, and we're still waiting on the Dame Lillard thing, we saw Jaylen Brown get the $300 million, and then the money will continue to rise. The Wemby effect on the Spurs, as far as them that quantify victories, is not what I think a lot of people are expecting. In the power rankings that were released by ESPN, I'm sorry. And this has nothing to do with what it'll look like in training camp, but this is where we sit after all the initial part. The Spurs have now rocketed past the Charlotte Hornets in the ESPN power rankings to number 26 in your heart. Keep in mind, there's only 30 teams in the league.
That's another good draft pick coming, baby.
So they are Wemby is worth exactly 3 spots in the power ranking.
When you see, Rob, when you say it like that, it feels real disrespectful.
It does.
When you say, Wemby's worth 3 spots, that's disrespectful. But that's where ESPN rankings
to 26.
No, let's say this comes true. How are you feeling at the end of next season if they finish 26th in the league? How are you feeling next season?
I won't be mad, because I know I'm a realist, but it'll be how they lose. If they lose that many games, that'll be of great concern, because what that tells me is that the rest of the NBA looks at this roster of Devin and Keldon and
Shohan,
Jeremy, and those are the threes. And then the next is Trey. They don't have a lot of respect for that. They don't have a lot of respect for the others like we do. And that could be ignorance. That could be optimism on our end, but that just tells me that the rest of the NBA and those that write and look at it see this roster and go, they're a long way away.
You know what I see? This is my thing, Rob. While clearly I don't think this is not a tank season for the Spurs, what this is by their actions is, look, we know we're not going to be that good next year. And we're okay with that. We want to see what we have with this youth movement, and then we will adjust accordingly. We're going to try to win every game, but we know we're going to lose a lot of games, and we're okay with that if we're getting better and we get to assess, okay, let's put these guys on this side of the room. You guys, we're going to work with you. You guys, y'all don't fit on what we're trying to do and what we're working toward. And if that turns out into us losing, let's say, instead of 60 games, if we lose 50, we're okay with that. I'm just going by that. They didn't go the Houston route.
No.
They didn't go the Houston route. They didn't go and sign Dylan Brooks. They didn't go and try and get Fred VanVleet, and they didn't go get Jeff Green. Like, Houston wants to make a power move. Houston wants to go from 24th or 25th to 15th. Now, ESPN still has them ranked only making it to the 24th spot. but Houston's action show, they're ready to start their process now.
Can I argue that, not argue, but can I just say that maybe Houston's a couple years ahead of where the Spurs are? That maybe this is
I would say they are. Now, Spur fan, we got into this when Pledge and I were here, and Spur fan came after me, and I don't give a damn. I'm not here to please y'all. I think Houston is in a better space, and I think Houston is a better team right now.
Now,
Mike Bing, see what I'm saying? Spur fan, I see them as a play-in team.
What? Oh, man, that's overly optimistic.
What?
It just really is. But, the separation between being dead last and play-in is only about 7 games. You know what I mean? The play-in is you're a losing team.
Rob, it's 20.
It ain't 20.
Oklahoma was 42-40, and they were the play-in team.
And what was next behind them? And the 3, I'm just
they were 10. No, Oklahoma was 10.
They were 10th. But it was Oklahoma
City.
No,
it was the Pelicans were 42-40. Oklahoma was 40-42.
So the separation from Portland
and Houston, I mean, the San Antonio, Rob, that's 20 games.
Okay, I'll give you 20.
But this is the thing, Rob. They literally load managed 10 losses. You see what I'm saying? Like, they literally like, oh, man, they're playing good. I'm about to sit everybody down. I don't think they're going to do – no, matter of fact, I know they're not going to do that this year.
But some of this also goes to everybody looking at the prize that was Wemby and what you believe the effect he will bring to the team will be. So there's some of us, like me, who look at him and go, I don't know how you defend him. I don't know how you offense him. I don't know how I go at him offensively. I don't know what I'm going to do defensively. And I think it's going to lead itself to a whole bunch of wins. And then there's the old NBA types, the old dudes that have been around the block a couple of times, like Tracy McGrady, who look at Victor Wembanyama and go, dude, I've seen this before.
Quote, no, I'm just saying the hype is crazy to me. It's too much, bro. I've seen this before. Y'all act like y'all haven't seen it. That Bull can do. He's just not given the real opportunity like I think he should. That kid is skilled. He said Kristaps Porzingis was highly skilled when he first came out, just like that. Hell, he's 7'3" too. So I've seen it. The hype is just crazy, but I get it. It's the media. They're looking for a face for the NBA, and you got to have a new star. Bron is on his way out. Steph and those guys. I get it. So T-Mac isn't the first former player that we've heard say, y'all slow down on this Wemby thing. Now, my theory on former players on television and in the media is always going to be this. Just because you play don't make you right. So, yes, Tracy McGrady has played. His opinion matters, but that does not mean he's right. We have seen a hype train for somebody. Maybe not like this, but we've seen a hype train and it not work out.
Yeah, that's the terrifying part of it, especially when you compare. We're talking about comparisons to Bol, who does, in fact, have the kind of game that when you compare it to,
I think he's going to have a breakout year, and I say that because of this, Rob. You're right. Bol has attitude issues, and that's why he can't get on the floor in certain places. That's why that's why Mike Malone didn't have time for him. Orlando, he plays all these great games, and the next thing he can't get on the floor. I think being around KD and Book and Bradley Beal, I think he's going to get a much-needed attitude adjustment. Remember, he's only been around younger players that, probably can't get through to him. If those guys at Phoenix can't get through to him, then there's just no hope for him, no matter how skilled he is. But I think he's going to have a breakout year being around those vets that can check his ass. But Wemby, is it too much hype, Rob? Is Tracy McGrady right? Should we just pump the brakes a little bit?
It's not too much hype. The expectations aren't too high. He is a 7'5" unicorn.
No, he's not 7'5", Rob. He said don't call him 7'5". I'm just doing what the kid asked us.
Put on his Nikes, whatever it might be. But
Right.
we've all seen it. When I hear that from an old dude,
why are you going to call Tracy McGrady
about?
old?
Well, I mean, what are you talking about? First of all, don't ever compare him to Kristaps Porzingis again. Stop it.
Well, first of all,
never,
you have a high disdain for Kristaps Porzingis.
But
so
even
that's
those that love Kristaps Porzingis would go, no, I can't compare him. Nah, that's different. It's different. It is. Don't bring up Porzingis. Now, I'll bring up Porzingis when we talk about worst case scenarios. I mean, Kristaps is truly the worst case scenario for Wemby, apart from Greg Oden.
He's been on like 17.
Yeah, just a guy that is the type of player that has the kind of attributes that every coach looks at like he is a reclamation project. I can fix him. I mean, as soon as coaches start looking at him, any player like I can fix him, we got a problem. And if we ever get to the point where I can fix him with Victor, we got a problem.
Right.
We're already talking about we can fix Zion. I can fix him. No, we got a problem. So I won't go there, but I will say that there is this attitude that there was only been one way to ever be successful until you prove to me otherwise.
And I think that's where the former player comes. Former player in his rocking chair isn't saying this guy's not going to be able to play. Former player is just like, you got to show me I played in this league.
Right.
Nothing is given.
We get that. We get that. But I think he's shown enough to go, yeah, you better respect what's coming. I think we've all seen enough to go, yeah, we better be a little worried about what this cat can do. Don't just go and say, yeah, I saw it last year in Bowl. No, you didn't.
Well,
you know what? No, you didn't.
Well,
you think you did. But when you put
Rob,
apples to apples,
Bol and Wemby look a lot
they
alike,
look
bro.
alike, and they try the same things. But keep in mind, Wemby is doing it better already than Bol is already, even though they're
I don't know, Rob.
Because if I'm telling
Rob,
you,
I don't know,
he is
bro.
already doing it.
21 minutes a game, 10 points a game, 55% from the field, 27 from 3, 6 rebounds. Okay, yeah, he is.
He's already doing it. So I'm just saying,
but
we've seen a guy
Bobo's doing it in the NBA, not with the Metropolitan 92.
Respect given, yes, respect given. But the shot blocking and the shooting alone is better. I think we can all agree on that.
Rebounding too.
And also
Bobo
a better
only
passer.
only 6 rebounds a game is disgusting at 7-3.
Be ashamed of that. But I do get that, but don't discount it just because we haven't seen it work yet. We know it will work eventually. Somebody is going to crack the code. And so far, the closest we've got is Wemby. So T-Mac, slow your roll just a little bit. He ain't just Kristaps Porzingis. He ain't. He's more than that. He is the logical progression.
Okay.
Because we used to say the same thing about you, T-Mac.
Whoa! Hold on now. Hold
we
on,
did.
Rob. Hold on. Let me defend T-Mac. There was a time.
Mm-hmm.
There was a time.
It looked like Michael to me.
Where him and Kobe were the best players in the league. They were that. Kobe will tell you the guy that gave me the most headaches was T-Mac. Now, I blame T-Mac for the 2013 Ray Allen shot because he came to our bench and we couldn't get over the hump. Like, remember, T-Mac had never been out of the first round until he came to the Spurs.
True.
But put some respect on T-Mac's name, Rob. Don't do that.
I'm not going to take anything from him. But when we talk about expectations and realized expectations, T-Mac has had some experience.
Now, keep in mind, if Tim Duncan decides to go to Orlando, T-Mac probably has 3 rings.
You're right. You're right. But so, I think he brings some experience from having those kind of expectations and maybe not being realized totally. Where he goes, yeah.
But you do see people's skepticism. You get the skepticism, or you just think it's hate?
Sometimes I think there's skepticism just because I feel like I need to be skeptical because. And that to me sounded like that. Others, I think there are real.
I'm shocked you're
honest,
not more skeptical because you're the biggest skeptic.
Because
I know.
But anybody who has seen what he is capable of goes, well, I've never seen this before. Even at Bowl, even with Kristaps, Chet Holmgren, this dude is different. I mean, he is just different.
You sure about that?
Just watch the cat.
I have watched him against other Frenchmen.
And everybody who has any kind of time with him walks away going, holy crap.
Well, who was that? No, that was Don Harris. He was talking with Jason. I think it was just Jason. And he said he was sitting behind the scouts. And even when he missed shots or made the wrong play, scouts were still in awe.
But you're just amazed by what he is just intrinsically doing as a guy who really doesn't know a lot of real basketball yet. Right. He's been consuming it in a kind of a homogenized way in Europe. Now he's here, and he's already doing things that Europeans take a while to learn. There's just something there. Now, whether it manifests any further, we will see. But slow your roll, T-Mac. Don't go this far out there. He ain't just another Kristaps. Just don't.
You know what? Let me tell you what the problem with this take from T-Mac, Edwin. If he didn't bring up Kristaps, Rob would be like, hey, you know what? You're on to something. But the fact that Rob cannot stand Porzingis.
He's the most overrated player in the NBA and has stolen
If he
money
wouldn't have
for
brought him
5
up,
years,
this is a
8 years.
totally different discussion. Yes, he has been. They call him a unicorn. He turned out to just be a donkey.
It really doesn't exist. And we do want to give some flowers real quick to Dominic Barlow.
We like him.
We do like Dominic Barlow. Do we?
How many players they gonna carry? They done signed like 76 players.
Spurs just signed Dominic to a 2-year deal. Well earned last night. The deal was announced last night. Well earned over the summer and last year as well. This guy is the type of guy that they're going to have on the roster when they eventually give Wemby that Jaylen Brown money. You're going to have to find guys like this.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry, Edwin.
Oh, we're right on time.
Okay,
fine. We're right on time if you're a Thomas
Dominic
Rhett fan.
Barlow, Champagny.
This year's Charles Bassey.
I love Charles Bassey. I hope Charles Bassey comes back fully healthy. He's going to provide really good protection. He gets rebounds. He blocks shots. He's from the crib. Well, he's not from the crib, but he played here at the crib. So I'm pulling for Bassey.
You weren't here on
Monday or Friday.
Have you seen that new FIBA basketball court that they're playing on
for the World Cup?
Yeah,
no.
That it's like a giant TV that you're.
Oh
playing on
yeah. I think that's cool. I like it.
Man.
But if I was a shooter, it would throw me off.
I was having that question. I wonder how much that would affect me. Like if I'm standing on it and it looks like something beneath me is moving, am I going to get like vertigo and get dizzy and fall over? I mean, it is something that is going to be new, but something that is going to be ubiquitous. I'm just curious. If you haven't seen it, just go.
I've seen it.
Google FIBA.
It's pretty cool in theory, but I don't think it's going to stick.
I don't know.
I don't think you can have that. I don't think you can have that.
If you're in the NBA, how desperate are you to have that when you have this whole screen that you can sell little portions of it during the game? Like this shot brought to you by.
We are always trying to find ways to make more money.
That just looks like the next.
It looks like it would bother the players though.
That's the next thing to find out, right? I mean,
because next thing you know, you think it's a wolf in the house. You think you're getting double teamed, and actually it was just a Snicker bar coming at your ankles. Like I don't know how I feel about it.
Or you go to jump, and as you look down, it looks like water beneath you.
Yeah,
like, stuff like that.
The
FIBA Nationals 19 and under, the internationals is going on right now, and it has been rife with problems. They've all the 19 and under. They had one game where they're dealing with heat over there too. So one game was called. It was the first time in FIBA history where two teams refused to play. They refused to play because the court was in such terrible shape. And then everybody that was staying in one hotel, all the teams that were in one of the hotels that they were all playing in or staying in, all got sick.
They got food poisoned on purpose
or something. Everybody
like,
got sick.
Y'all don't want to play? All right, we're going to ordering creme brulee from a hotel in Dallas. Come on, bro.
Hey, you want to go see Eric Rhett? We got you ticket, or Thomas Rhett, excuse me. Eric's a former running back for Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Thomas Rhett is a musician that's going to be coming to the Moody Center Post Taste. It is time for your Hot Ticket Thursday. Listen to this.
It's Hot Ticket Thursday. Be the ninth caller at 210-656-ESPN. And you could be on your way. The hottest tickets to the hottest events. Ninth caller wins.
Get on that phone. You're going to go see Thomas Rhett come to the Moody Center on August the 5th. That's just around the corner. We got Pierce DeVale tickets next hour. Oh, next time we're live.
Yeah, next time we're live. Next hour. I ain't going to be here at 10:20.
No, we had a meeting yesterday. We discussed the Dallas Cowboy training camp and all the coverage that we are going to be bringing to you.
And we needed your help. Text us 656-3776, YouTube us, tweet us, thread us. What are some non-football questions you would like us to ask each player that we're going to interview over the next week? We came up with what did we come up with the first hour? Last show, you binge watch your favorite Jerry Jones story, your favorite team growing up, Jordan or LeBron.
I like that one.
Who would be your number one draft pick in fantasy? Is your Madden rating accurate? Who's the best dressed player in the NFL? Questions like that. Hit us up. What are some questions y'all would like us to ask?
We'll narrow it down to 3. The get to know you questions that we're going to be asking all the pertinents at Dallas Cowboy training camp. Let's talk about the most pertinent coming back. The head coach of your Cowboys spoke to a variety of things. Not only did his cornerback get paid, but he's got ideas about his offense, his defense, Dan Quinn, and the like. Coming up, you're going to hear from a running back with the Dallas Cowboys, and Rudy will tell you, should we feel sorry for him or not? That's next. You're on R&R, and this is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'll tell you what. The idea of going into a training camp in pain is something you're afraid of. When pro football players will never feel good again until after February. They all say it. If you're living a life in pain and not getting paid to do it, I want you to listen real close. Arasti is here to help, to fix you. See, Arasti providers are all around San Antonio, highly trained, skilled experts with one job in mind, and that is getting you out of pain. I'm talking about sprains and strains. I'm talking about soft tissue injuries, lower back issues, plantar fasciitis, so the frozen shoulder and back, maybe it's tension, headaches, all of those and many others can be fixed with Arasti. See, Arasti is unique in that their treatment programs don't involve surgery, and it doesn't involve medication to dull, hide the pain, all that. It's your body fixing itself, and these experts helping you do that. And it works. Let me tell you, it's worked for me and thousands of others. And in fact, on average, Arasti patients get back into the game, back into the life in under 4 visits. So if you're sitting with that frozen shoulder, or you've got a bad back and you have not been able to get yourself back in the game, you owe it to yourself to call a Rosti. And you can call them right now, so you don't even need a referral to call a Rosti provider. Grab a pen. Go to their website, arosti.com, AIRROSTI.com. There, you'll get a great map of all the local providers. They're adding them all the time. I bet there's one less than 10 minutes from where you are right now. And great tips and tricks as well. All the details you need are at arosti.com. You can even make your appointment there. But once you grab your pen, I hope you got it. It's 1-800-404-6050. 1-800-404-6050. They're going to accept most insurances. They're going to get you busy, and they're going to get you taken care of. Don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love. There's a fix out there, and they're close. It's Rosti. Call them today and thank me later.
It's 1,400 miles to training camp. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Beginning Monday, the guys are on the road again. This time, San Antonio sports star travels to Cowboys training camp in Oxnard, California.
Deep down the right side. Oh, it's caught.
With the full support of AA Best Bail Bonds, providing complete backup for any of those things that happen while on the road. Nobody provides better coverage of training camp than 94.1 San Antonio sports star.
Left side of the end zone. Touchdown.
We'll hear from the players, coaches, be right in the middle of the media frenzy, and of course, hear from owner Jerry Jones.
We get to suck on that all week.
It's Cowboys training camp, live from Oxnard, California. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds, Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, Texas Cheer Liquor, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, and SASportsStar.com.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagle here. I want to take a moment to talk to you about advertising on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Yeah, we get this question quite a bit. Here's what you have to do. Contact Morgan Harrison via email.harrison@alphamediausa.com. From there, she's going to have one of our folks connect with you on how you can advertise right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Or since Alpha Media is a full-service advertising company, online, other radio stations, and even television, since that's just about all through the internet. Happy connecting.
Now is the best time to buy a Connecticut water softener. With current models being closed out to make way for the new ones, you can save big. Call Connecticut at 656-PURE and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you. That's 656-PURE.
If you've been injured in a car or truck accident, y'all need you to call the Rexperts. Hey, it's Rudy J. Hilly and Solis, most people don't know anything you say or write can and will be used against you by the insurance company to reduce or possibly deny your accident claim. The law office of Hilly and Solis will go to work and make sure you get the compensation you deserve, and they're going to make sure you get it fast. They're former prosecutors. They don't just know how to fight. They know how to win. Let the Rexperts take care of dealing with insurance companies so you can worry about yourself and you can worry about your family. Don't let these insurance companies take advantage of you. See if you can turn that crash into cash. Hilly and Solis will hire the top medical and technical experts to support your claim. Call for your free, yes, free, no obligation consultation right now at 210-762-6261. That's 210-762-6261.
Principal office in San Antonio, Texas. Message brought to you by a non-attorney spokesperson.
I don't want to go to bed at night dreading waking up in the morning, knowing that I'm going to feel like a rusty lawn chair, getting out of bed and getting opened up and not being able to really move for a couple hours really throughout the day.
For former college and pro football player Bobby Carpenter and those dealing with daily aches and pains, QC Kinetics regenerative pain treatments are a game changer, providing long-lasting relief.
Go into a specific joint, a specific region, and then help promote that healing process using your own body's mechanisms to heal. I mean, that's been something that's pretty powerful, and there's no surgery, there's no downtime.
QC Kinetics natural treatments help the body heal and restore itself. No more rusty lawn chair.
It's no surprise to see people being willing to try this first, especially when it has such great results.
Pain relief the natural way. QC Kinetics. Call today for your complimentary consultation. Find out if you're a good candidate for treatment.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318.
Have you gotten your hands on Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B yet? Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds offer big, bold flavors like sea salt and cracked black pepper, spicy dill, and Korean barbecue. Bonus, you're going to love the low-carb, high-protein, bacony crunch. Pick up your favorite flavors of Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B today. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Be big, be bold, be adventurous. Learn more at southernrecipesmallbatch.com.
Texas, the Mega Millions jackpot is over $900 million. Buy official Texas lottery tickets right from your phone at jackpot.com. Get a free ticket with your first play. Go to jackpot.com. Jackpot.com. Paid for by jackpot.com. You must be 18 or older to order a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-652-5656. 800-652-5656. That's 800-652-5656.
Good morning, everybody. Jason Minix here from the Blitz, starting at 2 o'clock today. Of course, the latest from Dallas Cowboys training camp out in Oxnard, plus the Houston Texans. The great John McClain will join us at 5:15. Hey, Rudy, did you really eat all of the pork rinds already?
I'm trying to. It's a low-carb snack. I mean,
where are they? Are there any left?
They're hidden in his office, as always, or at his house. And then he says he has some he's taking to Oxnard, but they're for display only. I'm just telling you. Jason Minix is a complicated young man. Yeah, so they're for props, where you just leave them there for the videos and stuff like that, since they are one of our sponsors, along with AA Best Bell Bonds and Texas Cheer Liquor. So I guess we're gonna need some Texas Cheer bottles. I gotta holler at AD tomorrow.
I'm saying
for our Sports Star After Dark.
I think we could maybe induce a player into a shot or two now and again.
Why does that dude have a big ass suitcase already?
I don't know. It seems empty.
It was. He wouldn't know he could pick it up like that.
In San Antonio, when you're running, anybody who's from here, and I say from here, I'll quantify from here as you went to high school here. And you're still here.
I went to high school.
We'll give you that.
I did.
When you're running around and you meet new people and you find out they're from San Antonio, there are certain questions that you ask to kind of get a definition of the person that you're meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we all have certain feel out questions, some certain things like, who you worked for, where'd you go to school,
where'd you go to high school is one.
But in San Antonio, there is the first, and anybody who's from here knows that more than any city I've ever been in or and around, where you went to high school matters. It tells us about you. It tells us the side of town you grew up in, the type of environment, the school that you went to, the years that you were at that high school, the people that we know that might have known you. That all plays in to how we sum you up as a person. We're looking for those kind of questions for the Cowboys.
Perfect example. Like if you tell me, hey, I went to Highlands, I went to Sam Houston, I ask, okay, show me your gunshot wound. I'm kidding.
So do you have a gang affiliation comp?
So how many times have you been shot? No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so some of the questions we come up with, we're going to try to narrow it down. Is we want to ask the question for the Cowboy players, like sound on a consistent basis. We kind of narrowed it down. Well, we haven't narrowed it down, but your best pickup lines, your favorite hobby, what song gets you going? What's the last concert you went to? Favorite food, NBA GOAT. So here's your Madden rating. Accurate.
Now, keeping in mind, we're going to probably be talking to, on average, somebody who's about 25 years old.
Right.
So there are certain questions that won't matter and others that will. I do think, like, I'm very curious to hear, like, Michael or LeBron. Or maybe there's another answer. I think that defines a person. It tells me the genre and how old you are, whether you grew up, and maybe it's like Paul George, like you said with Brandon Miller. Maybe there's somebody else out there, but I do think that's one of those this or that questions that we can separate you.
Or we could separate it into positions. Like, okay, like for a receiver crew, we're like, okay, if it wasn't Dak, who would you like to catch passes from?
Ooh, that's a difficult question to ask, though.
If you're Micah Parsons, what's the QB you want to sack? If you're a DB, what's the quarterback you like to take a pick six on? you're a safety, what running back are you looking to just blow up in the hole? You can go positions.
I'm not sure I'm smart enough to remember to ask the individual position question.
Because receiver, like I said, that's a difficult because you don't want to ruffle any feathers.
Yeah,
but
I don't want him to.
What's the QB you like to catch a touchdown from if it wasn't Dak Prescott?
Then they say something stupid. You're like, well, that's dumb.
It's like now if you mess around and say Jalen Hurts, like, hey fool, you played them twice.
Don't. Brock Purdy.
I don't want to get anybody in trouble, let's leave those out.
And maybe non-football, all in all.
Maybe non-football.
What about if we ask them what's their favorite sport other than football? Did they play? If you no, here's the one. If you weren't an athlete, what would you be? Not a football player. If you weren't an athlete, what would you be doing?
Yeah,
would that help sum up?
That's a good one.
But again, they're 25. They don't know what they do.
Yeah, dude, you're 25. You could barely wiping their ass without having to rewipe.
Seriously.
Sometimes.
So the definition questions, that's the question we're asking you. What's a question you'd like us to hear? We're going to have 3. By the time we get there, there's only going to be 3. We got to ask football questions. But 3 questions that we can help to define these young athletes, these young men as they get ready for the season.
iPhone or Android?
There's that kind of thing. Xbox, PlayStation.
Now that's a good one because they all play them. Now we don't want them playing games to the extent of Kyler Murray, to where they're fixing it into your contract.
No, but I'm sure that's while we've heard about Kyler, that's been addressed on a lot of football teams. Dude, get off the video game, study your playbook. I'm sure that's been addressed on every football team once a month for the last 30 years.
Soggy or crispy bacon? Who eats soggy bacon? Are there people that were raised by wolves out there that like soggy bacon? Who likes soggy bacon?
No kidding. And if you tell me soggy, we got another question to ask.
All right. Your favorite football movie, post-game victory meal, most influential non-coach / teacher?
That's a good one. But I like the meal thing. Like some guys don't eat chicken. Like I'll eat chicken before every meal, every game.
Yeah. If you could have dinner with 2 people, who would it be?
See, that's also some deep thoughts for a 22-year-old
guy. I
don't
don't want them knowing that. They ain't gonna know.
I don't want them contemplating that.
Because I would tell you right now, they're gonna be like, oh, Rihanna and Ariana Grande.
There's a lot of those questions that would be kind of interesting, but they don't define you because you're 22.
Are we too old for this?
No. But I do think that there are some things that you can kind of figure out. Like, do you or would you ever play for a team that wore yellow pants?
What? When did you fall in love with hip hop?
And when did hip hop become part of your life? But the first on your playlist, like the oldest musician on your playlist, that would be interesting to see. What's your favorite next genre of music apart from your favorite, whether it be rock, whatever? What else will you listen to? That goes on position group lines.
Yeah,
a lot more metal and country coming out of the lineman room.
Yeah. And one other thing, Astros, how'd that ass kicking taste? We're the home of the Rangers. How that 13?
They dropped 1.
Rob, don't mess up this rant. Damn, dog. I'm trying to troll, and here you come with facts. Don't mess up a good troll with facts. Astros, how did 13 runs taste? No, I'm kidding. They avoided getting swept.
We do. Oh yeah, a little update. If you haven't paid attention, the ladies went to a draw overnight. Played the Netherlands 1-1.
The Dutch. Yeah, what the hell, ladies?
I don't think there's reason to be concerned. Well, but it's a must-win coming up.
They can still win the group.
Well, they can still win the group, but don't they have to win next up? I know they took the point, and that's fine. But
they got a point. They're fine. They beat Vietnam. First of all, I didn't know Vietnam.
Man,
they beat Vietnam 3-0.
And in that win, I gave them the Swisher over the weekend. I thought the way that they handled that Vietnam game, they acted like they weren't ready to play.
Wait a minute. So the Monday that I wasn't here, you gave our women after a 3-0 victory a Swisher?
Yeah, they didn't look like they were ready to play. They should have beat that team 8-0. That game was not good for anybody.
You see, I'm out one day and this type of stuff.
But they got the Swisher because they're giggling after missed kicks. So you're going to have to right the ship a little bit. Now, I'll give them the second half last night. They looked a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
But they do look a click off. You know what I mean? Like just one tick off center where they're just a hair late, a hair on time, or just a little early on some of these plays.
You've been watching too many military movies. We're about 3 clicks out. Who says clicks?
Funny, I watched this new series on Paramount Plus last night called The Lioness.
Okay.
It's good. Zoe Saldana in it. It's like CIA operative kind of stuff.
I was sold as Zoe Saldana.
And clicks. And 17 clicks out.
Yeah, like clicks.
But they're just like a hair off. I
What we
mean,
got
you can
next
just kind of tell it's not quite there yet. And they're going to need to get that. They're going to go where we expect them to go. They got the Portuguese coming up.
Portuguese, August 1st. Okay.
That'll
I watched Money Heist in Portuguese. My reading skills are phenomenal.
Let me tell you, man, as this strike holds on, my distaste for movies with subtitles is about to have to be tested because there's a lot of movies that I've never watched just because
So you never watched City of God?
It's been on.
That's a great movie.
It's been on.
So you haven't watched.
But yeah, it's impossible to play Candy Crush and watch a subtitle movie at the same time.
You can't do that.
Cannot
do that.
So right now I'm falling on the side of Candy Crush and listening to Portuguese being spoken.
I've managed to duck and dodge Barbie. Still haven't had to go see it. Girls are mad at me, but that's all right because I pay their lights and their water and their AC and their shelter.
Well, it wasn't last night the Flicks night?
Sold out from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Wow, so you checked.
I tried. Every show.
Hey, worthy effort though.
Every showing.
I'm so glad that I'm not in a corner where I have to go see it. People coming out crying talking about this movie.
If you leave Barbie crying, you need to reevaluate your life. There's something else going on with you.
There's evidently some kind of scene with an old lady and
let me tell you
young
something.
woman.
I repeat, if you leave Barbie crying, there's something else going on in your life.
Some deep and abiding issues you're gonna have to take care of.
It's not the freaking Notebook.
But I will say that show that I started watching last night.
It's good.
I give it
The Lioness.
The Lioness.
Okay. I'm gonna check it out. I have Paramount right
and it's
now.
all chicks. It's all ladies. They're all out on they're like serving, they're shooting guns. It's good.
Equality.
We have reached it. The equality has finally made it. The story of New York and the Jets is gotten better.
NFL gumbo time. We do some gumbo.
Yeah, let's do some gumbo real quick because overnight we find out that the contract situation with Aaron Rodgers has finally kind of been rectified.
Okay.
So they finally signed the deal, and he took a whopper of a pay cut. Now he had guaranteed like 110 or so with the Packers. He just signed a $70-some odd million deal with the Jets, a $30 million pay cut, which, wow. But on the heels of that announcement,
as soon as they announced it, what happened?
Guess who's rolling into the Jets headquarters? Welcome, former running back with your Minnesota Vikings. He is
Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin is rolling into the Jets. I expect he'll be signed by noon.
Pledge made a strong case for Dalvin Cook and the Cowboys to go after him. And I was like, I just don't feel like that was their weak point. And their weak point was stopping the run. And I don't think that Dalvin Cook puts them over the hump. But this is the thing, Rob. If you're Breece Hall, even though you're coming off an ACL, are you looking around the room like, what the hell?
Well, we know it takes a year. He won't be himself this year. We know it takes a year.
This is one of those things where this is all in.
Hey, rest up, bro. No, you'll be here next year.
I'm talking about the Jets. All in?
Yeah, no, I think you go get Dalton for Dalvin for this year, but I think Breece Hall's in your long-term plans. I don't see any reason why he should be too concerned. I just know as a GM and as a football guy,
no, I'm not talking about all in on trying to get to a Super Bowl this year.
They're all in. Well, all in for a Super Bowl is one thing. All in's another. I think they're all in, and I think I like what the Jets are doing above and beyond Aaron and all the shenanigans, above and beyond the hard knocks anger. They have done everything appropriate, and they've done exactly what you want good teams to do is influence your high-paid players to take less so you can get more good players. And they did that too. So they've got more money to spend. They're pretty deep at running back. I think that Garrett Wilson is about to become a superstar and is in my top 2 or 3 guys to draft in fantasy football. And when you're getting past that upper echelon, I think that the defense is going to be solid enough to keep them in contention, and they're fun. They're this year's Detroit.
Their defense last year was fantastic. I don't see why that would fall off.
I think they're going to win a lot of games. I think they're going to win 10 games. That to me in New York is going to be a good story.
Is 10-7 impressive?
In New York, it will be. In the city that generates its own kind of inertia.
My guy Mike McCarthy wins 12 back-to-back seasons, so 10 don't impress me.
No, I agree.
I'm a Mike McCarthy guy.
But think of the world as we live it now, because there is, no matter how we want to define it, the NFL is New York media-centric. I mean, ESPN broadcasts out of there. The NFL's headquarters out of there. The NFL Network is right in the same building as the NFL headquarters. I mean, they're all in there together. And what do we get coming out of New York? Dallas Cowboy coverage. They are aching for another team to cover.
Well, Saquon's back at least.
Well, the Giants haven't been able to move the needle, but the Jets with Aaron Rodgers will. So if there's even a modicum of success, we are going to be force-fed Jets coverage a lot. And it could be a lot of fun to be force-fed that.
Peyton Manning spent some time with Aaron at the Kentucky Derby, and while they were drunk off of mint juleps, this is what Peyton Manning thought he saw of Aaron Rodgers.
I saw Aaron in May at the Kentucky Derby, and I could tell how excited he was about this new chapter.
Yeah, y'all
obviously
all
with
were,
Tom
Peyton.
recently doing it. It's a second chapter for him, and he's already got great rapport with his teammates. You can tell how excited the coaching staff is. I think he's going to play really well, especially the fact that his former coach Hackett is there calling the plays. It's going to make Aaron feel comfortable. If he's comfortable, the guys around him will play fast. I think the Jets are going to have a good year.
Okay, you know what? I just thought about this. Okay, Peyton.
He had a second chapter.
Nerve damage, can't throw, can't grip, goes to Denver, goes to 2 Super Bowls, wins 1. Tom Brady leaves New England, goes and wins a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Is Aaron in that realm?
I think I'm
talking about Super Bowl. I ain't talking about going to 12-5.
No. He didn't land in Tampa with that.
Rob, this is a pretty good team around him. Tampa was a good team around Tom. Are we going to put him in that realm?
But Tampa had the benefit of coming out of a conference that really wasn't tough.
No, that's fair.
You know what I mean? The Jets, boy, it starts early and goes all off season. The AFC is so rough and tough. But that's why I think when we define what success will be for the Jets, 10 wins and the pub and the inertia or the that comes out of that, shoot, it'll be a lot. New York, the Jets will be top of the fold and be the most favored product this year. They won't disjoint the Cowboys, but that New York centric coverage, we're going to get a lot of it. Yes.
Remember, I don't know, but remember when McCarthy went back to Green Bay, he combed his hair, he had on the trench coat, he was walking the field early. I think he overhyped himself for that game. I don't think he'll do that this time versus the Jets. And they played the Jets on, I don't see it. Oh, September 17th in Dallas, 3:25 CBS. That is Romo. That's Romo. Romo, hey, you know, this is what they're about to do. They're about to throw for tight end fade. They don't throw the tight end fade.
Game 2.
Look at the Cowboys schedule, man. Well, the Jet schedule: Buffalo, Cowboys, New England, Chiefs, Denver, Philly.
10 wins might be much.
All right.
10 wins might be asking a lot.
If they don't come out clicking on all cylinders, I'll give them New England. And that's even a stretch because that's Bill Belichick. And Bill Belichick, the one thing he does, he's able to take things away from you. First game ever, Buffalo, that's a tough one. In Dallas, that's tough. New England, maybe they're 1-2. Kansas City, maybe 1-3. Denver, I'll give them 2-3. Denver sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Then Philly. Tough schedule, bro. Really, really tough schedule.
I think that Aaron's going to get him close. I think that by the end of the season,
goes back to what you said
about.
It goes back to what you said about Tampa having an easier.
It's just an easier road. They didn't
right.
have to go through everything that the Jets have to go through, even in their own conference. The mantle of being the highest paid quarterback in the world, in the history of the world, will be held by Herbert for
a cup of coffee.
How long do you think it'll be?
Let's ask Adam Schefter.
I think by the time the season starts, the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow will figure out a way to bridge their differences, and they will produce what then will be the highest paying annual average salary contract in NFL history. If we want to put it on the bottom line of ESPN right now, put it on there. Joe Burrow is expected to become the highest paid player in NFL history at some point this summer. We just don't know exactly when, but that deal will beat Jalen Hurts' deal. That deal will beat Lamar Jackson's deal. That deal will beat Justin Herbert's deal. And that deal will be the new landmark deal that other deals then follow, because Joe Burrow is going to be a very wealthy man.
And then after that, he'll have it for a cup of coffee.
And then
Patrick Mahomes will
jump right back in there. That was Adam Schefter yesterday talking about the imminent deal for Joe Burrow. It's coming. I mean, we know that it's going to be there. I don't know how much the Herbert deal really affected it. You know what I mean? I'm not sure that they went, we're going to have to pay him more.
It went up $1 million per year.
Maybe enough to kind of justify the wait. But if you're Cincinnati, as far as a PR move, when do you announce this?
Today.
Do you feel like you should jump right on it?
Like our guy's been to 2 AFC title games and the Super Bowl and almost won. Forget your guy. Your guy's done nothing. Justin Herbert's done nothing.
Nothing. But assume the mantle.
But now he has the greatest offensive coordinator in Cowboy history.
Assuming the mantle. Hey, the mantle will be taken from us at 2:00 when the Blitz hangs around here. Don't forget tomorrow, RJ Ochoa will join us, as he will join us not only on air tomorrow, but on a plane on Sunday, as he will be with us the entire week for training camp coverage, and he's going to get a special show all week long. The Blitz is going to be here today. Tomorrow, make sure you're going to go out and join them out in Bernie. There's going to be a huge radio announcement on the Blitz tomorrow, just a little bit after 2:00. Got some video that we'll go watch.
I'm ready, man. I'm anxious. Cannot wait for tomorrow's news.
Yeah, we're turning back the clock. Maybe that's the best way to put it. We're excited about this. There's lots of work going on in the Stars. We head out to training camp coverage. We got some film to watch and some study to do. We'll see you tomorrow.
It's R&R in the morning. Follow Rob at Rob